Hi guys, and welcome to the Valorant Champions Tour Game Changer Southeast Asian Series FSL Elite, the league that's all about growing the competitive women's gaming scene and seeing how women in esports change the game. We've had a year-long circuit to get to this point. We're into week 2, day number 3 already. The action does not stop. We've got 4 best of 3 series for you guys today, and I'm Jenny originally. Joining me on the desk to walk you through all of today's games are going to be Jace as well as Key. Gentlemen, how are we feeling today?
I'm super excited. Like the games we got going on later on today, they're going to be really fun, and I'm actually a lot more excited in that lower bracket right now. I think there's going to be a lot of games coming through and a lot of exciting and maybe unpredicted results as well.
Yeah, and likewise, I think that the lower bracket is where it gets pretty dicey, especially with the teams like, I think last week we saw TC Arise take the win over Erica Aresta. That was pretty interesting because I think that was one of the first like upsets, I would say, because Erica Aresta have been showing a strong showing since the beginning of FSL, and then suddenly TC Arise, the dark horses of the, I would say, tournament, just took the series off of them, and I think that we'll likely be seeing more of that in the lower bracket today.
Yep, for sure. And talking about the brackets, we're going to take a look at the brackets over on screen right now. We are, of course, starting off today with the lower bracket. So starting it off with a good start of the action. As you can see over on the lower bracket right there, we're going to have VLT Asteria going off against Renatus White for our very first best of 3, followed by TC Arise versus Enigma Galaxy, and then later on in the day we'll move back up to the upper brackets with Mad Army versus AE Celeste. And talking about the prize pool for FSL Elite, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's some eye-watering, eye-popping numbers on your screen. Those numbers do not deceive you guys. The first place team at the end of tomorrow's FSL Elite will walk away with $10,000 US. The combined prize pool for this entire weekend is 25k USD, and yeah, pretty worth it for all the teams. As we were talking about, we had almost a year-long circuit to get to this point, starting from January, and yeah, the winners also walk away with a whole bunch of cool sponsor prizes, secret lab chairs, Nanoleaf panels as well. So yeah, that's just we've come a long way. It's a nice chunk of change.
And the Nanoleaf panels, those are the coolest ones, I think. I mean, I'm pretty biased here. I love the lights, exactly. And you can customize the colors. I think that's pretty cool. Like you can see Jenny, I think hers is pretty much a rainbow.
Yes.
And
I matched my Nanoleaf panels to my outfit for today.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah. Where's your pink shirt? Where is your pink shirt, Q? You dropped the ball here. Come on.
Alright, yeah, so the Nanoleaf panels, you can change the colors. Actually, last week they were with orange, now they're pink. So yeah, you can change the colors as you want. And you know, on stream, you can choose whatever colors you'd like as well. So you can control the colors. Unfortunately, I didn't coordinate my outfit with the lights today, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but guys, if you want to coordinate your Nanoleaf panels to your outfit, or just, you know, turn them on, sometimes just at night, I just sit in the corner, turn all the other lights off, and I just look at how pretty they are. Guys, if you want a set of Nanoleaf panels of your own, I think we'll be dropping the discount codes over in chat regardless of which country you are. I've got a whole bunch of different country codes for you. I think it's somewhere between 10 to 15% if you want to get your own Nanoleaf panels. 10/10 would recommend. Guys, but before we continue on with the disc segment, we're going to take a look at a recap of last week's games.
Judge play coming in potentially by an area. That's gonna be 1. We get a 2, 3, 4, and an 8. uses the satchel to reposition Shirazi for 1. Make it another.
Oh my god!
At the same time, Baby TC still with her operator. She's starting to turn this into her realm. You got 3 kills already, and then the 4th. Is it gonna be the ace? Yes, it is.
Is it enough though? That's gonna be 1 Cherokee forecast for I for the trade. Beautiful spray transfer once more. Is it gonna be enough though? Oh, Spazers into Classic, and that's gonna be. So looking at how they're rotating, we do see Meowshiking onto the backside. That's gonna be Hunter's Fury coming in from
counter. Oh.
Oh no! Break.
Waiting and pinging out Heaven. They hear the dash coming in. Envious going in for a bit of a spray. She gets a quick double, a triple now.
Given this first kill now by Envious, at least Iceberg is gonna trade her out, and Ayumi here.
Whoa!
But Chirathio hears the footsteps, at least gets Kohaibee, but there are two people there. He's gonna be joining the rest of the team members, but Kohaibee gets that shot with the Sheriff. Is she able to get another one? We've seen what happen. So now she checks her back,
No
and
way.
then
Iceberg?
good thing about that, the Angels is not
And come back.
yeah, and there's gonna be somebody a wall here towards the tube. It's
Sweet, crisp tap to put an end to this. And Japips knows that. She's gonna stay hidden, trying to get it to halfway. One more shot. So it's easy for them to connect the shot, but somehow Rosie's already underneath. She gets two, unfortunately gets traded, and there it is. Rudy's trying to clear out main, but what they don't
It should be because garage window is quite big. But look at this. What happened? We're in there just look see sight, but Muffin though was able to detect.
now it's gonna be Muffin with that operator to try and stop things here, but
Kill. Donut, what do you think of this? Polly gets one from garage.
okay, there's gonna be another kill here by Polly. There's gonna be 3 in this site, and that's a wonderful shock dart there by Ginny. And right now, another shock dart, but it doesn't really hit anybody else. It's just down to Aluka here. She does get the first one, uses the dismiss, but what? She's spotted out by that recon bolt, so
Is gonna be able to mark an angle. Oh, she gets a shot when it comes to the wire. And Big with the Spectres here.
Oh!
Spray 3.
Has to as well for Kima's on. Oh, that is a very nice angle to look for, to say the least. Uses the paint shell, the pushes is up and coming. Satchels as well. But he had. So this could be an opportunity to be aggressive, but with the flash, that's gonna be a 3. Another round for Big Sight, but a breathing room. But you know what? I'm gonna jinx it. Uses the flash as well, so she knows she's at 8 back. Very nice. But where's the P coming in? But Muffin.
Whew, those headshots. Those girls were not fooling around. I just love seeing the highlight clips as well, and just Zaya bringing the hype during the cast. That was really nice to watch.
Yeah, and those were just last week's highlights, right? Like, sorry, last day's highlights, not even the first day. So this is just day 2. And of course, we're going to see a lot more highlights today because the teams are going to be even closer match. We're going to see some really close matches like we saw in day 2.
Yeah, I think so. We've seen like a bunch of really good plays, and like also gives you a really good idea for what you can expect today, because a lot of those teams that you saw getting a lot of those big frags, they've made it through today, and you've seen them play later on.
Yep, and talking about playing today, our very first matchup for this morning is going to be Renatus White versus VLT Asteria over at 11 o'clock in just a bit. How are we feeling about this one, especially because last week on Sunday, to round out that day, that very last match between Renatus White as well as AE Celeste, it was so close. So how do we feel about both these teams in this first matchup?
Quiz.
For me, I think that Renatus White have had a strong showing. They're really close to Alter Ego Celeste. They're both 11-13s in map 1 and map 2. So I actually thought that was really interesting because Alter Ego Celeste were pretty much running over every other team in opens 1-6. And then all of a sudden, in the best of 3, they almost got taken to overtime for both maps. Or I mean, it was a knife's edge kind of game, right? Or for both maps even. And I think that Renatus White are actually really strong. However, one thing about Renatus White in this series against Alter Ego Celeste, Kohaibee was the top ACS among everyone in all 10 players there. And that just goes to show that one person can't carry the whole team. Like 11-13 for both, they couldn't get a single map. And for the side of Alter Ego Celeste, they were a bit more balanced. The ACS for them was around 200 to 250. Kohaibee was at an alarming 330 ACS for that series.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the rosters for both these teams on your screens now. There you can see the Renatus White squad. It's going to be K490, Envious, Moji X, Kohaibee, Legit Queen, as well as Rue. Kohaibee, interestingly, I think she named her ID kind of after her real name, which is Abigail, so it's kind of like a cool Abigail. Just cute. Just wanted to throw it out there.
Is it Kohai as in Junior and then Abby?
Wait a minute. That would be so
Abby.
big
Yeah,
brain.
Kohai B is a Abby, right?
Well,
Like
the question is, where's Senpai Abby? That's the real question, isn't it?
That's true.
We're waiting for the
That's
evolution.
true. I mean, her playstyle has definitely evolved. She should change her ID as well. But we've got VLT Asteria on your screens. Shrey, Rue, Muffin Loop, Britzy, Casper, Meow, as well as Jelly. And I mean, this team, they've come such a long way. Just like showing up throughout the end of the FSL Open and the later stages of the circuit as well. And they've got so many fans in chat, always just supporting them whenever they play. Just very heartwarming, very nice to see. But how are we feeling about the skill matchup between these two? Because we've talked a lot about Renatus White and how like it looks like a one-woman show sometimes of Hybe whenever she pops off. But how are you feeling about VLT Asteria?
Well, VLT Asteria, we did get some really good memes coming out of this team, and like they had some great strats. They had a couple of loose holds on towards mid, but they want to take it as quickly as possible. They're a team that they don't care about the ping, they don't care about this, they don't care about that. We had some great plays from Shrey, from Muffin Loop. Muffin Loop really has to turn up today, right? If Kahibe is going to have anyone to answer her, it has to be Muffin Loop, because Muffin Loop is the star player. At least that's how they phrase it. They all play around Muffin Loops and play around her schedule and everything. So if anyone is going to stand up, it has to be Muffin Loops. And I mean, the Asteria pause, maybe that comes in today. Maybe we see a long shoot coming in from Renatus White, and all of a sudden, VLT Asteria, they pull out that pause, and suddenly they get that chain going. Because we've seen them do that not once, we've seen them do that twice already. That pause is so powerful for them. And yeah, it hasn't resulted in a win in their first matchup, VLT Asteria versus Enigma Galaxy on that Ascent game. It didn't take them where they wanted to, but they still had some great rounds, and it wasn't just a complete stomp. So going between these two teams, I think there might be a little bit of a skill disparity. But in terms of individual skill and team skill, I'm actually leaning towards VLT Asteria a little bit more for that team skill.
yeah, and looking at team skill, I mean, we were talking about the top players between the two teams, right? Muffin Loop and Kohaibi. You mentioned it. Muffin Loop is the one that's supposed to be the answer to Kohaibi on Renatus White, and I do agree with you that both teams are actually quite closely skilled. In fact, I feel that between the two teams, VLT Asteria have a bit more dynamic strategies. In fact, I've seen them sell fakes, especially on split, that have been absolutely amazing. I think they're the biggest, the strongest ones to actually sell strong fakes on different sites, and being able to execute those fakes require a lot of coordination. And I feel like that's what VLT Asteria can bring to the table in this matchup.
I have to agree. I mean, like, you've seen the way that Shrey's been able to position their players, put them in positions where they can make sure that every single player is set up to try and pick up those trades. We've seen some pretty brave moves as well. Really, Shrey only puts other players in those positions to take those close range fights, to take those crossfights. Because Shrey, by herself, she likes to hold mid by herself. We've seen her do that on Reyna. We've seen her do that on a number of different different agents. Sorry, and so it's like they've got confidence where they need to have confidence, but they also have the teamwork where they need to have that teamwork as well. And I really like that about VLT Asteria. I think they may be able to surprise us, maybe taking a map off of Renatus White here.
Yep, definitely a lot to like about the VLT Asteria team. But guys, you've heard enough from us. We're about to show you guys a Q&A video with the VLT Asteria team themselves.
Hi, I'm Muffin Loop and I play for the team VLT Asteria, and I play the role of a duelist / initiator.
My name is Salori and I go by the name Meow16k. I'm currently playing for team VLT Asteria from South Asia. I'm a duelist and an initiator in my team.
I have been playing FPS games past 7 to 8 years. I used to play a lot of CSGO, but I never competed professionally in that game. But as soon as I heard about Valorant, like my first goal was to buy a PC of my own and start competing professionally. So this is the first game that I have been competing professionally.
I played CSGO professionally for 2 years. I have competed in tournaments like Legion of Valkyries, WESG, and most of the female leagues. Since Valorant released, I started exploring my way in Valorant, and now that we are into Team Asteria, we are looking forward to compete along with the best Asian team. I joined right before Wildcard started, and I remember having this discussion about how to qualify in Elite. I also remember discussing with the entire team that there is no chance of qualifying to Elite in this year. We'll go up ahead and we'll practice to qualify in Elite for 2022, and that's when we started to actually win in playoffs in 2022. But turned out we won in Wildcards.
I have been playing this circuit from its beginning, and I've gone through a lot of agent changes during these last 7 months. I really like the agent composition of our team right now, as it has worked super well for us. Me on the duelist, Meow on the initiate, and others.
Including myself, most of our teammates are part-time content creators as well. So we have a pretty tight schedule while gaming itself. So we stream for a couple of hours before we practice, but we make sure that we make up to practice on time. And after the practice, we go back to our normal schedule. So it's like we try hard to give enough time to team, as it is important for us to qualify and win it as well. Along with that, we also have a lot of ping issues, since one of our teammates play from Australia, one from Pakistan, and 3 of us are from India. So I think it is a bit difficult for us to compete against 5 ping, but I think if it was that difficult, we wouldn't be qualified for Elite. So I think we are looking forward to give a good and tough fight against 12 pingers.
For me personally, it is really difficult to manage my time to give enough time for practice for the team. I've worked full time as a software engineer, but my team has been really supportive of my schedule, and all of them have adjusted all of the times for me, and we practice whenever I am free. So yeah, that's what has helped me stay in the team and helped us qualify for the. And also, all of us mostly play on 80 plus ping, especially Shreya. She plays from Australia, and she plays on 100 plus ping, but she has been doing her job really well. It is a disadvantage for us, but we don't let it get in our heads.
We are looking forward to go strong against Alter Ego Celeste, since they've been winning all the qualifiers. They've been, getting all the titles up their sleeve. So I think this is high time someone needs to take them down. Even though our team and the composition is really new for each other. I mean, we just made this team before Wildcards, but we will make sure that we give a tough fight to all the teams in Elite.
So I personally am looking forward to compete against Nigma Galaxy, because we as a team have played against them a few times and we have given a very tough fight, but we haven't won against them any of the time. So yeah, I feel like me and my team are prepared to defeat them this time in Elite.
I think Muffin Loop from my own team, she's gonna be the star of Elite this time, I believe. And now that she's got the role of duelist, I think she's already doing the damage. And I think now that we're gonna compete against the top female Asian teams, she's gonna show her what she has got. So I think she's gonna be in the top list.
So my teammate Britsi, she has been playing all these FSL games on a 60Hz monitor and a really bad PC. So she's now getting a really good PC. And I'm really excited to see her performance in the FSL Elite, and I really want to see how well she can perform if she has a good gear. So I think she's gonna really wreck everyone this time, and she's gonna really be making a difference in every game, in every match we play.
Upcoming girls who want to compete in a professional Valorant circuit, only one thing to advise to all those girls is that if you want to go professional all in, you should go in. Shouldn't be afraid of what people will say. And if apparently it's a taboo that girls cannot play as good as other gamers, men. So I think it's completely wrong, and girls can compete on an equal level. So more participation should come in, so that the entire female community grows so much that the ratio of male gamers and female gamers become equal. So I think that's how we need to initiate our participation.
There should be more women willing to participate in these kinds of tournaments, forming teams and representing their regions, countries. And they shouldn't be scared about, following their passion, because you'll have to risk it all if you want to get the reward in.
I would like to thank everyone who supported us. Of course, my teammates, our coach, our manager, everyone who were backing us up in the back end. Along with those, all the people in Asteria's team, I would like to thank all the streamers who were streaming our games on YouTube and Twitch. I think the support in the exposure that we got, and the support eventually helped us motivate and create the positive hype among each other. so much that I think that is one reason why we performed so good in wildcards. So I think we are hoping to get the same support in Elite as well, so that we perform and pop off everyone, each one of us.
So I'd like to thank my team for not letting me go back to the controller role, even after me insisting like for going back to the controller role, because I felt like I was not able to create that much space for my team. But today where I am is because of my mates, my coach, and my manager, and all the people working in the back end for us, cheering for us. I'd also like to thank all the viewers, all the people supporting women tournaments, all the people supporting our team, Velocity Gaming Asteria. So yeah, thanks.
We love to hear it. Just girls can play on an equal footing as the men, and FSL is all about providing these opportunities for women to grow the competitive women's gaming scene. Also, that line, I would like to thank my team for not letting me go back to the controller role has got to be one of the biggest flexes I have ever heard. Like, she didn't say it, but we all heard it at the end. Thanks for, just releasing me, letting me carry, because I mean, it's been such a pleasure to watch her play the last few months.
Yeah, and it's really amazing the journey that they've been on. When he asked them about which players to look out for, they all mentioned their teammates, and that's basically extremely wholesome, right? They mentioned Muffin Loop, and then Muffin Loop mentioned Britzy, playing on a 60 hertz monitor on a really slow PC and competing in FSL Elite. That's absolutely mind blowing to me. Like 60 hertz is already difficult enough, and playing on a slow PC that probably might even not get you 60 FPS, that's just mind blowing. And playing on Elite.
Yeah, I mean, I think playing Valorant is hard enough, even with a great PC, much less the specs that these girls are playing on. They've got the PC buff that we were joking about last week as well, just better ping, better PCs. Also, a couple of them were boot camping before last week's week number 1 of FSL Elite 2. So it's great that that type of effort has definitely been paying off, and we can all see just how much that they've been improving.
Yeah, I mean, do keep in mind that for this tournament specifically, 3 players have flown over to I'm not sure exactly where the country is. I think they're in China right now, or they're in the area. Is it Hong Kong? They're somewhere in Asia, and they have much better ping, much better PCs to use, and that, I'm not sure how much of a difference that's made in terms of their individual performance, but we have seen some really great players come out from all of those girls. And yeah, 2 of them are still out of country. We've got Shrey that's still in Australia, but Shrey's been putting out their numbers as well. And so the whole team, they seem to be elated by that idea, and I think they deserve it as well. They absolutely deserve to be put in a boot camp and in a position where they can fight for their place in this tournament, and they have been fighting. They've been fighting hard. And, I mean, what did we get? Last week, they did beat Big Scythe. They did fall to Enigma Galaxy, but we did see that pause come in against Enigma Galaxy as well, and they started going on a roll on that Ascent game. And so, there's always that potential. There's always potential for VLT Asteria. Renatus White, they're not going to have an easy game going into this one, I don't think, especially if Kohibi doesn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, Kohibi also, she's talked about it before on her social media as well, because we've been seeing her pretty much on and off since January over in the FSL, but just a couple of months ago, just pretty much right before Elite, she was just saying on social media about how she was kind of losing a bit of confidence, especially when she was in ranked, and so she's saying she was kind of trying to go back to the days where she would just pop into rank and just insta-lock that duelist and have that confidence to frag it out. But last week we just saw her just have the performances of her life, so hopefully we'll continue to get that Kohibi moving forward. I believe the map drafts are out as well. It's going to be Haven, Ascent, as well as Split if this does go to game 3, and I just want to spend a bit of time to talk about Haven, because I think map number 1 is going to be very crucial. I mean, we saw last week Haven is, I want to say, pretty much Renatus White's map, even though they did drop that one to a Celeste last week. It was very close, but I am kind of leaning towards Renatus White for map number 1. What do you guys think?
I'd have to agree, right? 13. I mean, okay, so we saw the recap from last week. We saw all of those string kills. They all came from Renatus White on Haven specifically. And so it's not one of VLT Asteria's best maps. We haven't seen them play it too often. It does get banned quite a lot. This time around, though, we've got so many maps to pull out of the map roster that unfortunately they're going to have to play their enemies, one of their enemies' best picks, right? But then VLT Asteria, they go into Ascent, where they've done pretty good so far. They've had some great showings on Ascent, and it does really allow for their individual style to shine. And then we're heading on to Split. And Split is another one of Renatus White's great maps. And so this particular map pool does favor Renatus White just that much. And so VLT Asteria, I can see them taking Ascent. Split, maybe. They've won a couple of games on Split, 3 out of 4 games during their qualifiers. But Haven, that's a very difficult ask for VLT Asteria. Renatus White, they'll be wanting to take that straight away.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Haven as well. Also being Enigma Galaxy's map. So this is one of the maps that they've played against their rivals a lot. And it's a map that they're not too bad on, but it's really not their best map. And like you mentioned, Renatus White, they are very strong on this map. And it seems like it's a map that is brought to Asteria a lot because they're not that excellent at it, and the teams that they always face against, and their rivals in the interviews, like Enigma Galaxy and now Renatus White, are actually favor Haven. There's very few teams that do, but these are the exact 2 teams that love to play Haven.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And I mean, I don't know, VLT Asteria, even Ascent it can be a bit of a tough ask because Renatus White, they are just such a formidable team. And looking at Kahaibi's performance, it really does. It comes down to Kahaibi because it's like, how will Kahaibi do on Haven? How will Kahaibi do on Ascent and on Split? Because if she's not confident on any of those maps, I can see the entire team having a problem. Because again, it really was just her game. She's got that effect. She's got that X factor in her that if she's not doing well, your team's not going to do well. But if she's doing well, you better believe your team's going to win. And so Kahaibi, again, no matter what the maps are, it does fall down on her.
Yep, and we're almost ready to get into Agent Select, guys, but before we do that, we've got a pretty cool team intro video for you guys to take a look at. Check it out. I mean, we've talked a lot about Kohaibi and how if you take her out of the equation, how does the rest of the 4 members of Renatus White do? And I mean, we talked a bit about this last week as well, about how they have a couple of new members. I mean, Legit Queen also just joined the roster before last week. We were wondering just how she'll fit in with the rest of the team. And sometimes, you know, when you look at the Renatus White squad play, we see Kohaibi with those insane clutches over towards the end of the round, but I think what we were wanting to see from them is more of that strategy going forward. Now that we do have the map draft out, how do we think that this is going to affect the series, if at all? I know, Jace, you were talking about how it does look as if Renatus White have won most of the draft phase, but I think Split is going to be really exciting, right? If we do get to that map number 3. Key had some thoughts about Split.
Yeah, I was also thinking that Split was where we actually saw some creativity from Asteria, especially from the way they executed sites. So I think that that's where it boils down to, the teamwork versus the star power of Kohaibi, right? Asteria have really shown that their executes are on point, and I think that stems from what they talked about in the interview, where this latest iteration of the roster, their agent compositions, that's where it all falls in together. And the infamous Asteria pause was on a Split map, in fact.
Yep, talking about agent select, I think we do have that ready. You're about ready to get into agent select for this. Not yet, not yet. We've got a bit more time. Jace,
Well,
talk to us. Tell us
I do
more
want to
about your
say a little
thoughts.
bit because I actually have hopes, not expectations, but hopes for Renatus White as well because I don't like teams with star players. It really disrupts how the game should be played, and it means that you're reliant on this one player. What happens if that player goes, right? I want to see Envious. I want to see legit Queen. I want to see Aphrodite and Mochix. Like, Mochix been with Kabi forever, right? So she knows how to be a good support player. But these other three, Envious, legit Queen, and Aphrodite, I want them to show up. I want them to put up some stats that show, you know what, it's not just Kahibi, we are a team, and we're all here to play. This isn't just Team Kahibi, and we just have this slap-on title, Renatus White, as a throwaway. I want it to be all of them jumping into this game and proving that, you know, they do have that individual skill. Because last week, we saw legit Queen win, I think, 2 clutches, and Envious won 1. And then everything else, every other clutch that had to go their way was Kahibi. And it's like, even if it's a clutch factor, let them shine. Let them try and come through and show that this is a team that people should be afraid of, even if Kahibi isn't performing. Because it's also a good reflection on the female scene and what future female pros will see in their favorite teams and their favorite idols, that we should be playing as a team. This isn't about individuals. This isn't about the star players. It is about everyone performing together. I think that's a good thing about, you know, Alter Ego Celeste, right? It's Ineri is a star player, but the entire team can perform.
Yep, and guys, we're this time not faking you guys out, ready to get into agent select for our very first map. Looks like Astra probably for Casper on the side of Asteria. Not all too big of a surprise. What's jumping out for you guys so far?
I think that
No
Shrey.
lineup.
Yeah, and I don't know what Shrey is gonna pick because typically she would be the controller, at least recently, or the Sentinel. So I think Shrey might be actually be the one role swapping for this series, or at least this map.
I think it's difficult for Shrey to pick a Reyna here. We have seen her go Reyna a couple of times. That Raze pick from Kahibi, I don't think this is going to be a complete mirror match for VLT Asteria, but Kahibi, she's already, you know, she's feeling it. She's jumped onto that Raze, do that early damage. Shrey hovering on the Phoenix. Phoenix always a good choice. You got the flashes, you've got your mollies available to you as well, and you do have the runner back. So plenty available if you go for that Phoenix. And is that locked in?
I think it's pretty much locked in, but we've seen some people change their picks in this last 0 second. Okay, it's locked in.
Oh, there
it's
you
gonna
go.
be the Phoenix.
Nice.
Sometimes, you know what, I love to see it. I love to see it. Not because British or anything, but it's, you know, it's my favorite agent. That's why. Joke's over. You're dead.
Yeah, just like to mention, Shrey actually had a back-to-back ace against Enigma Galaxy on Phoenix, on Haven as well. So this is going to be a really interesting agent pick.
Yep, I'm super excited. Also, I love the confident Raze pick from Kahibi because usually we tend to see her on like Reyna, and if you're just thinking of duelists and you think Reyna, you think Jet, they're both, I want to say, a bit more safe than Raze because Reyna at least has that blind going in. Jet always has her E to get out of any sort of trouble, but Raze, you know, she's just gonna satchel onto side. There is no going back from that. So that's the 100% confidence pick. I can't wait to get into game. But guys, real quick before we start with map number 1, who's gonna take the series? What is the score gonna be?
I'm gonna go 2-1 to Renatus, and it goes to Renatus winning on split.
Yeah, likewise, 2-1 for Renatus, I think, with the same result.
Yeah, I have to go with that too. I would actually go 2-1 as well. I mean, we talked a lot about Asteria and how their team play is very good, but really, I think it'll all come down to map number 3 on split. But guys, this is where Jace and I say goodbye for now. We're gonna be leaving you guys in the hands of GN as well as Key to cast this series. Gentlemen, all ears.
Thanks, Jenny. Game number 1 is going to be here, and you're joining me, Illustrato and Key. We're going to dive straight into the game itself, and you know how this goes. Renatus White, VLT Asteria, a game of old. These guys have been going at it tooth and nail for the better part of the year now. This is where it all has led to here in FSL Elite, and towards the B site they go. Despite getting quick planted, Aphrodite looking to hold them off, trying to get them to stop, but the dash out prevents it, and it's going to be a full 5-man retake here on B side. The flank is going to be coming in quick, though, as Legit Queen does deny Muffin Loop. That is going to be the flank gone here, so everybody has to come in funnel here towards the front. Bocce X able to dispatch Meow 16K rather handily, and that's going to be easy kills as the Pain Shell yet again finds Shrey. Time is taken away as Britzy looking to stave off the push here, and nobody really sticking the spike just yet, but the shock dart is good right there on the Envious. Will be denied, will be traded out, but in a 1v3, it's all up to Casper. Playing close, gets one, but the Pain Shell yet again will find another 2 Pain Shell kills for Gohaibi to start the day.
Really quick and decisive execute by Renatus White there, recognizing that on the pistol round, typically people don't really defend the B side. You sacrifice that, you go for a retake from A and C. They just planted a spike there, used all their utilities to perfection, making sure that nobody gets on that spike. It looked a little bit dicey. Asteria actually got a few kills off that, but you know, they still had the numbers. There was a 3-on-1, and they were able to finish off Casper in the end.
Keep up.
I actually really like the fact that they decided to reaggress like in the middle of that post plant. A lot of the times you'll see teams just playing back, you know, holding off, but instead this time they kind of just like, you know, let's peek again, buy a little bit more time, get a couple more kills, and it works out in their favor. Now, they will be trying to respond by going towards this A side here. Gohaibi will be the first point of contact for her team. Pain Shell yet again will be coming out. 4 people stacked up here. Will it matter? The crossfire dismantled as a triple kill from Gohaibi shines through yet again. That's 3 kills for Gohaibi. That should be the round.
And that was absolute massacre from Gohaibi. The Pain Shell's even getting one off of the bounce there, and just her teammates going in like a SWAT team there with the 2 Spectres just eliminating everyone on the side. Look at this. Quick headshot there. There's a spray down as well to 2 people. And the Pain Shells just finishes the 4th off. Meow 16K was not on the map, but she gets picked off anyway across all the way on B to C link.
Yeah, that's 3 Pain Shell kills, by the way, in 2 rounds for Gohaibi. So just the utility usage has been phenomenal for her this far.
And the kills, she has 6 kills already, 2-0. And this is exactly what we're expecting for Renatus White, the aggression. And looks like there's a lot more team play coming in from Renatus White that we weren't seeing exactly last week. This time around, it looks like they're very coordinated. Their executes are sharper and faster.
You're absolutely right, and you know, it's a breath of fresh air to be able to see them like this. Renatus White has been a team that shined individually, but now they're pulling the pieces together. The same play that they ran here, however, earlier on, they're going to try it again for their bonus. They've gotten the spike down already, so that's a lot of value off of this bonus round, excuse me, as we go into it. Meow 16K can't get the lineup. Gohaibi does, and the refrag is right there. This bonus already shaping up to be very much worth it. Gohaibi showstopper kill off screen, and Legit Queen finds the next one rather as Britzy. The last one to survive. Gohaibi is on a tear, man.
This is
She's
insane.
at like
9 kills.
9 kills? Yeah, exactly.
She's already at 9 kills. It shows off for ACS 500. I mean, it's just 3 rounds, but
she's 527.
Exactly, like 500 is absolutely bonkers. And you know, I'm gonna point this out here. The reason why they went to the B side is because they know they can take the close range engages that they can't on A and C. Exactly, they just get the plan, and that's exactly what they did in round number 1, right? Envy is going in, dashing out back to safety, her teammates ferrying her over, and they get upgraded guns. This is absolutely scary for Asteria because they get upgraded guns. Their economy is really healthy. They have 6K each right now on all 5 players.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Christmas came early here for Renatus White. They even find a pick on Shrey towards Garage. So now 4v5, A-site gifted to them. Not a bag of coal this time. Santa happy to leave them a lot. I mean, the spike, the sight, the guns, everything they wanted and more. And this game so far is as lopsided as it can get. I mean, it's still round number 4. It's very early on, but still, you have to be concerned if you're Asteria. Asteria is very good on this map, and they need to start picking up the pieces as soon as humanly possible. Otherwise, Renatus White might not be able to get a foot in it.
Yeah, and look, Renatus White, they're really sharp right now. It seems like they're taking control over the tempo of the game, and it's starting to look scary for Asteria because they can't get the timings to their favor. And even in this run, they can't even get a single pick. Look at this, Gohaibi really feeling herself, satcheling up. Mochi X there as well to finish off Muffin Loop, leaving nothing to chance here. They save 5 guns as well into the next round. They probably have all maxed out cash right now.
I want to see exactly how much they have. I mean, I wish I could. We'll probably get to look at it in a minute, but they're probably making bank.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Yikes. Yeah, the only person sitting below 5k is Aphrodite, but everybody else is, nearing max. This doesn't bode well. This means one thing for Asteria. They're going to have to really pick away at the economy of Renatus White if they want to force them to eco. So that's a lot of gun rounds in a row that they're going to have to win. The operator comes out, though, for Muffin Loop, so that might be what they need. But problem is, nobody's there to challenge her. Everybody's going towards C long. Now the utility coming in. Cosmic Divide will be deployed here. Meow 16k is good for the defense, so is Muffin Loop for now. And that's going to be 2 players shut down already on the attacking side. So this is a little bit of a saving grace. Muffin Loop finding another, and it's a 2v5 right now. The most decent starts around that Asteria has had in this game.
Yeah, and they're gonna find it hard to actually get the spike down here because it's not very safe anymore. They might still be able to get it for long, but they're already second guessing themselves. Like, can we plant here? Can we actually get the kills? And they get picked off. It's gonna be a flawless round for Asteria instead.
Yeah, the problem with that wall is if you don't clear the site and if you don't get the kills that you need upon that entry, you're gonna leave yourself with very little real estate. You saw exactly what happened the moment that wall went down. There were like 3 people on the other side of it, and just like everybody knew where the rest of Renatus White was, and so it was a very good start to this round here. It's gonna take a couple more, as I said earlier, to break down the defense of Renatus White, but it's still a great start, keeping a lot of players alive, their economy alive, everybody. It's going to help them out in the coming rounds.
Yeah, that's for sure. And like you mentioned, the Cosmic Divide, you really have to play with it, play for it.
Aggressive peek here. Muffin Loop lands it, falls back, easy kills, no problem to get away from that at all. And that's going to be another man advantage here earlier on for VLT Asteria. They are creeping their way up here towards A. It's going to allow them a little bit of time here to gather their forces, get onto site. Shock Dart is good enough to do a tiny bit of damage onto Meow, but that's the dash in from Envious. He's able to break down the traps here and through the smoke. Meow 16k does find Envious. I thought Envious had it for a second there, but the site's cleaned up. 3v3, nobody else on site, so it's going to be a retake.
Yeah, 3v3 retake on the A side. It's actually pretty difficult to retake this, but there's Muffin Loop with the Blade Storm. Gets shut down by Kohibi. And there's the Pain Shells coming out yet again to buy a little bit more time for Renatus White to actually get this plant down.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get it handily here, 2v3. I think that a little bit expected. Like, if you're going to do that nowadays in this meta, you got to have some utility behind that because people will check for it. It's not like people can get away with free picks like those anymore. But Britzy will get tagged up here. Can't land the win on the duel. It's Aphrodite who does. Casper's good for 1. Great gravity well, but in the 1v1, she lands, and Casper with a triple kill from up on heaven, landing the triple kill and getting another round for VLT Asteria out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was amazing. Jump down, especially getting the kill onto Kohibi. I thought Kohibi had that, but Casper with the element of surprise and the timing, really able to get these 3 kills, clutching it out for Asteria.
Beautiful gravity well right there, and the adjustment, oh my god, the second bull, a little bit of RNG on that, but regardless, it's a great play at the end of it. That was 3 kills she found, and that's left the economy rocked for Renatus. They can still buy, but this might just be their last 1 or 2, especially if Aphrodite is already sitting at 0.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. It's starting to hurt. We're starting to see them lose a little bit, but at the same time, on Asteria's side, they've also lost quite a few members. So I think that whoever wins the next 2 rounds is really going to control the pace of this half.
I'm really happy that we're seeing Casper step up. The panel mentioned it a little bit earlier on. Jay says, you want a well-rounded team. Jaeger, sorry. So you want a well-rounded team. You want everybody to be stepping up, and this is exactly what he asked for. Casper, 3 big kills on the defensive hold. That's a bright spot, a great start for the side of VLT Asteria. They're no longer looking at just Sheree. They're no longer looking at just Muffin Loop. Everybody starting to contribute more, and they're looking that much deadlier for it.
Yeah, and look at the team play here. Sheree actually gets sprayed through the smoke there as she was throwing a molly, so that's really quite unfortunate. And Renatus White are immediately going to the A side right now. They have full control, 5v3 retake.
Easiest plant of their lives. I take that back. Oh my god, I just cast cursed that so hard as the gravity well plus the peak was absolutely pristine yet again here for Casper. Assassin Roll Theft coming out, gonna give a little bit of information, but what is information if you got Muffin Loop on the other side of it with the op shutting you down? 3v3, 10 HP on Kohibi, and so they're gonna have to dig themselves out of this trench. They will try to plant yet again. Muffin Loop missing that. Oh, she actually does hit it onto Envious, getting her pretty low here. The HP not really favoring them at all here. Muffin Loop just looking for an opening pick, looking for somebody around that corner who's going to be making the first contact. Heidi's low, so she's going to have to hit her shots. And it's going to be Asteria who does legit queen in a 1v2. Can't get it. Casper yet again with another triple kill on this defensive hold. And I got to say, Key, Casper on this defense has just been unbreakable.
And she plays on the hardest part to actually play the A side retake from Heaven. Yeah, look, she dropped down in the past 2 rounds in getting that triple kill. It's like
that's not right.
It's not supposed to happen, but she's making it work. And look, she dropped down both times, able to kill the attackers that are just waiting on the side. And look, I'm gonna point it out there. Asteria, they waited. The way they did that retake, they actually all came in together on the side. They knew they had to get those trades. A is the hardest side to retake, but they've been doing it so well. And that's why they had to think about their post plan. Like, you can't do the same post plan anymore because you know that Casper's gonna jump down window.
Peek here towards mid. Envious daring to tempt fate. We wait with bated breath to see if she just tries to jiggle this angle. Does she know on the other side could be an operator waiting, but won't just push the envelope just yet. She'll do it in a minute. No.
Yeah.
No, okay, they're gonna secure map control elsewhere.
I find it interesting that they're going for this slow mid control garage peek. I think they might want to double peek this. Yeah, so using the owl drone to check where the operator is, they now know where it is, and they just might choose to ignore it or even just go for maybe try to double peek it. But it seems like they're trying to just look for picks, see if there's anyone curious enough to push forward.
Yeah, this is the fork in the road here. You know the operator is B. Do you go and try to rush it down and try to deal with it then, hoping that nobody else is on site? Or do you go somewhere else and hope that the operator hasn't rotated, maybe have to deal with the sentinel towards C? That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be popping in towards that C site. Envious does dash through, clips a little bit on the wall, but it's going to be Stray who gets one. It's Meow with another one, and Kohibi once more. Flashed off the angle, showstopper. Oh, I thought she had it off. I thought she was going to get it, did not. Aphrodite though with a Guardian. Clutch Aphrodite. Can she do it once more? Live up to the name. But she will be tagged. You can't spam through this box anymore. She's safe for the meantime. But she's going to be tagged up. And they know where she is. Little does she know around this corner already. There's one creeping up close. And Casper will deny it once more. And perfectly played with a great utility from Asteria. They've evened things up. 4 rounds in a row for each team. And they're just trading blows here. 4 rounds for you. 4 rounds for me. And this is now the momentum coming to Asteria in full swing.
And that's exactly what I wanted to mention as well. The momentum, right? The tempo of the game. It seems like Renatus had control of the tempo for the first 4 rounds. But after they lost a round, it seemed like Asteria have figured out their tempo. And right now, they just can't break that defense anymore. It's like you mentioned, Asteria are pretty good in this map as well. And once they get things going, it's going to be really hard for Renatus to push their defenses. Right now, Renatus still have the money to at least buy 4 rifles. But it's starting to loop difficult as Muffin Loop, this operator has not been shut down yet, getting the first frag yet again on Renatus White. And she doesn't get a second, but that's really enough, right? It's 5v4 right now.
No punish yet again. Somebody should have been holding that angle, but just the timing didn't go out for them. Now, Muffin Loop might get caught off here, but has an inkling that somebody like Kohibi might have already ensconced herself into this corner. And now they're trying to get a little bit more information as they know where the operator is, sure, but maybe they're just waiting out, hoping that the rotate will come in towards a different site. Maybe just hang on. You know, you mentioned earlier on panel P that one of the best teams with fakes that do fakes are Asteria, and this is one of those, I'd say, dynamics to that. Sometimes they just wait, and it works to bait people off the site. Not this time though, but Muffin Loop will miss the shot. Can't dash out, but will be able to get out of dodge here. And everybody else trying to help them on site. Nice gravity will yet again, and Casper has been phenomenal on this. Casper once more, 4 kills for her. Oh, just 3. I thought it was the lineup, but it's legit Queen who trades her out, and now it's a 1v3, all up to the Cypher here in this 1v3. Muffin Loop will be there to close out that round, and another phenomenal hold from Casper. We're gonna be singing songs. She's a folk hero now on this defense on A side. Just an amazing show from this Casper. Wow.
And she also has 12 kills. We were talking about Kohibi getting 13, but Casper herself on the Astra already has 12. And I also thought that it was going to be a 4K. It looked like the crosshair was straight up on the hat of that Cypher, but it just seems like that bullet, decided to go somewhere else. And
Vandals, right?
Yeah, Vandals is really just a Vandal. So it was a spray transfer. So it was happening in real time. That was actually really fast, and that's the reason why the first bullet wasn't that accurate on the Cypher's head. And it's like you mentioned, right? Like, there's no punish for Muffin Loop right now.
Yeah, they can't. There's no way. She's just getting free pick after free pick, and that's going to be another one now. Free upgrade for Kefradite. Spots the barrel of the gun. It's enough to get her a kill and access towards that C site. Now, it's a matter of what they do with the control here. They still have to work their way from Garage. Kefradite has the ultimate, has the Hunter's Fury. Will she play off the angle? No, they deny right now as the spike does go down, but they do lose another player here. They might be able to recover the rifle as Legit Queen does get the kill off onto Britzy. They're going to recover it. Now it's a 2v4 here. Difficult round as Renatus White find a breath. A little bit of wind in their sails yet again, catching off the players off guard completely with a beautiful entry from Kefradite, who walked into C and got 2 kills.
I'm surprised enemies didn't pick up a gun, but you mentioned patience the previous round, and I think that's something that was not present in this round. It looked like Shrey got a bit too curious, wanted to actually push out into Garage, but no one was actually there. There was no information, and Kefradite was waiting right in front of the trap wire. And I think that's what actually caused Asteria's defenses to break apart, because suddenly Garage is open, and they weren't ready for that. Meow 16K also getting caught by Kefradite there, and suddenly Seaside was just completely open.
Yeah, dude, I have to just give it complete props to Kefradite. You know, it's a great play, but how does one simply walk into Garage and see?
She just
get
really walked up there. Like,
oh.
Yeah, so that's not supposed to happen. But now, is Renatus White actually calling the timeout this time after the round that they won? So I think they probably want to slow things down and probably want to discuss, like, guys, what happened in the last 5 rounds. So let's we
got to recreate that, right? Like, they have to figure out what worked for them and then just find a way to do it again. But honestly, how can you recreate this Kefradite just getting 2 kills off the back of a Spectre playing Garage?
Yeah, maybe go Garage again. It potentially might be a weak spot because Shrey, honestly, hasn't been having a very good game right now.
No, yeah, you're right. She has been shut down in Garage, whether it's been peeking out of it multiple times. It's really been the story of Casper this game, and it's really, honestly, breath of fresh air to be able to see other people step up to the plate here and be able to get those round lockdowns for a team. Now, Britzy, the sole defender here towards the site itself. Gravity Wells and the support should come in as the Cosmic Divide will be able to isolate them. So the Hunter's Fury, though, to clear out a little bit more space. They don't get a kill. Envious does, finds Britzy in hell. And Kohaibi's right there with a follow-up. That's 2 kills already. Muffin Loop getting Kohaibi all the way into heaven, expecting that somebody might already be there. The flank will be coming into play here as Shrey has to deal with a couple of tripwires, but on the other side, Kefradite ready for it, and that's going to be a 2v4 here, looking great for Renatus White. There is still a recon dart to help them get more information, but at this point with an operator, Muffin Loop doesn't really have much left in the tank here. Has to get a kill in the next 2 seconds if they want to make this happen. They're not going to be able to do it, especially with that gravity well, so they're going to fall back and save it.
Yeah, I think this is the best call to make. This Blade Storm could have been good, but there's just too much right now to handle, and you can't pop out a smoke and right-click on the Blade Storm anymore. It doesn't give you that reset, so I think that you know, extra option for the clutch isn't there anymore, and I think that potentially, if that was still available, Muffin Loop might think about trying it.
Yeah, now I think the big question is, what is the economy of Asteria going to look like after this? It wasn't exactly, you know, Midas's hands in that last one, but they will have enough to have an operator. Britzy will be only on a Bulldog, so that might come into play here. But for the most part, it's going to be a pretty healthy buy all across the board as we go into the final round of the half.
It looks like Muffin Loop has an extra judge hiding in Garage with her, so after she shoots that first off shot, she's just going to swap out.
I'm hoping we get to see some really good judge plays. Last time we did this a weekend ago, we were able to get up a couple of really good judge highlights. But this time, it's going to be A yet again. Renatus White sensing a lot of weakness towards that A side. And they have hit this time and time again. Most of their successful rounds have been onto A. And so they won't shy away from it. In fact, they're going to take it for free once more, and it's time to play a retake. VLT, though, they've been phenomenal on these A retakes. Most of their rounds as well have been on A retakes. But Kefradite will get that kill onto Meow, getting a little bit too antsy, hoping for that kill. And it's going to be a 4v5.
Yeah, they better be careful of that window because Casper is definitely going up there, and she's going to drop yet again. So they better have a plan this time around to watch that and hold her. You know, I would even say commit a trap wire onto that window.
You know, that's not entirely a bad idea with how much havoc Casper has been wreaking on it. And let's see how it goes here. Flash comes in, that starts the play. Shrey's not good for the first kill. Envious will get 2 here, and they're gonna be crossfired absolutely perfectly. A triple kill for Envious to come back into this game. It was looking like it started to be Asteria's game. They were starting to run away with it, but Renatus White suddenly picking up the pieces after they lost 4 rounds in a row. Renatus White now have found themselves at 7-5.
Yeah, and Casper actually finally got killed there by K4Dity. They were ready for that window jump, and I think that was actually key to them not losing any more members, because Casper actually jumped off already. Like on the minimap, you could see her like she was flying, and then she suddenly just dies without getting any kills. I think that was really important in making sure that they keep that spike down and they keep their defenses on the A side.
A little bit premature as well from the peek out from Meow 16K, honestly. A little bit unnecessary. I think she was trying to get 1 into a 4v5, but at that point, I just don't think it was worth it. Too many eyes trained onto that heaven angle, and that's going to make it hard. So they're going to be going towards B here. It's going to be looking a lot like the previous round, the first pistol round that we saw. They try, but it's going to be a fake. Asteria, you said this again. It's a lot about the fakes here from Asteria. Right beyond this smoke. Perfectly timed. The fake star works perfectly as Envious goes down to it. Now 4v5.
Yeah, and it's really the patience, right? Like, it looks like a B execute, but it's actually a default. And then they suddenly catch someone that's pushing out. Patience is the name of the game for Asteria, and they're doing this really well. They catch one out. They know they're at an advantage. They get legit Queen. Mochi X is there for the trade, though. They know that C isn't completely clear. There's someone hiding in Cubby still, but they are going to get the spike down.
Ooh, great pickoff right there from Gohaibi. She gets another one. That's 2 kills for Gohaibi. Pain Shell onto the site will force her out. K4Dite's there to capitalize, and now it's a 1v2. Meow 16K looking for the diffuser. Not able to win it as K4Dite yet again. And that's another round from Renatus White. Just when you thought it was going to be a VLT Asteria round, they had great positioning. It was a great round for them. They were able to get the opening kills. They baited out the rotations. They got the positioning, but they were all pinched in onto that side. They couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, and this positioning by Mochi X actually just made it really difficult for Asteria to have a clean post plant, because suddenly the whole C-long corridor is not safe. You can't even cross back. And I think that one player in that one position really demolished the defenses, for the post plant at least, for Asteria.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And that's exactly why Shrey pushed out towards C long. They knew they didn't have control over C, so they knew they had to get a pit towards C, towards CT. And it was punished, and that led them to another round. So now they're going to be making a mad dash, another scramble here towards that B site. They will get 1 kill for their troubles, and the spike will go down. Legit Queen with a double kill. The spike does go down anyway. So it still will work out in their favor as a triple kill comes out here for Legit Queen. Now a 1v yet again. Meow 16K all alone. Will not matter. They got the spike down and 2 kills, so it's a very successful eco round for VLT.
Yeah, I mean, that's more than many could ask for in round number 2, right? Getting a spike down is already difficult, and getting those extra creds is just what you need. You take 2 down as a bonus as well. I think that's pretty okay for Asteria. They're gonna have to perform well on their buy round though, because this is Haven after all. The attacking side is generally favored. Let's see if they can actually execute.
I have money.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that they have just got the momentum. Renatus White, you know, VLT Asteria, they seem to have a great grasp on the start of each round, where they're able to know what to do. They play the start of the rounds really well, but it's where the mid round and the late rounds that they start to falter a little bit. They start to crumble apart when Renatus White start to sniff them out. And like you said, it's a game of patience. Asteria has it, but Renatus White, they don't bite on any fakes. They don't bite on any rotations. They don't overcommit to anything. Just this disciplined play from Renatus White is just so detrimental to the playstyle of Asteria here, who like to get fakes out. Now they're going to try to dash on into C. K4Dite with a guard gen. What a shot right there through the smoke. 1 tap fade away as she gets another here. Shrey pushing out will get Envious, who gets a little bit clever. Will still get 1 for her troubles though. 3v4. And oh no, Gohaibi still manages to find it with a frenzy. Still so worth it already as Renatus White now find themselves in a 4v2. Meow 16K and Shrey only left standing here, and they're so far removed. They're all the way back towards C long.
Yeah, that C execute didn't pan out just because of that 1 bullet from K4Dite, immediately just scaring Asteria away from getting that plant down. And they weren't even close to the site with the spike, and it seemed like that was their round to win. It seemed like they had an idea to execute the
30
smoke into
seconds
the
left.
flash, but they just got punished off of one bullet from Kfrdaddy's Guardian. And now it looks like Kfrdaddy is going to be the one to put bullets into them as well if she sees
they
them.
know.
But no, they know. They check the corner, they take her down, and you're not going to stop us this time. We are going to get the spike down.
Spike planted.
Yeah, but look at how far Gohaibi's already gotten. She's already up to the flank here. They're pinched in. They're locked into the site, so they have to push towards a link. But already waiting there is Legit Queen. 3 kills for Shrey. Can't find an ace to win the round. She gets 3. And that's going to be another one for Renatus White. Again, Key, it's coming to these late rounds where Renatus White, they just have a better read on what to do. When it comes to the post plants, when it comes to the retakes, Renatus White just know how to handle Asteria. And look at that again, man. That fadeaway shot, so wonderful.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, the mid-round decisions, the Gohaibi patient also by her own right, like just sitting in garage there, able to get a kill eventually. She probably thought it was clear in garage because Envious already pushed from garage, and they took Envious down. And I think Britzy was just like, oh, it's probably clear, and doesn't check the corner, but actually there was a Gohaibi with a frenzy there. And it's like you mentioned, it's really just about the mid-round decisions that Renatus White is making that Asteria are actually slightly slower on.
And those mid rounds have really been what's making them pay the price here. Now we're seeing a little bit of a change of a force here, change of approach. I'd say not so much presence now towards A. Instead, they will be gathering towards his garage, especially with the, I'd say, lesser weaponry that they have. They only have 1 rifle, and that's in the hands of Shrey, who does have the ultimate available to run it back, but still, they know she's here. We'll get tagged up, and there's just so much pressure. Look at what Shrey's doing, opening up the map for her team completely. But the rest of the team, they need to get the kills, but they can't. Kfrdaddy's right there to shut them down, and so is Gohaibi and Envious. And no matter how much space you can buy Shrey, it won't matter if their teammates can't land the rest of the kills.
Yeah, and that's a secret lab flawless round for Renatus White. And it's not even just flawless, if all 5 survived, none of them took damage. And here comes the Asteria pause.
Oh, here we go. All right. I'm excited. I want to see this. Like, this is the point where I say, okay, I've been caster's cursed to this by this before, Key. I do not believe that this Asteria timeout will work out. I don't think it's gonna change the face of this game right now. I'm seeing a lot of problems that you cannot fix in one half. Having said that, they've done crazier timeouts before, and I would be not surprised if I just ate my words.
Yeah, and we'll have to see that, right? Like, we still I think Shrey really needs to step up a little bit. Let's see if she can actually get the opening frags here with that Phoenix. That Phoenix pick has been the difference here in Haven, right? Like, some teams actually like running Phoenix here because you can clear garage, you can clear B easily. With those flashes, you could even go into A lobby and get into the A site really easily. So I think that this Phoenix pick just hasn't been panning out for them, and if they can make it work from here on, I think they have a chance.
Well, the time for mental convalescence has now come to a close. They will be having to go back into the fray as time once again will start to tick away. How many rounds was that in a row? Yeah, four rounds in a row. 4 rounds in this half,
Yeah.
and then 3 rounds in the previous half.
7 in a row is actually insane.
7 rounds in a row. Oh my god, that's a lot of momentum to break.
And you know, Renatus White actually had a timeout in the start of that 7 rounds after the first one, right? So that was a Renatus White pause TM.
Yikes.
Let's see what they can do with this timeout. The spike is actually all the way onto their spawn. So this is just going to be a default. They're trying to look for at least some picks on the A site, but there's going to be a Cypher there. So they're not going to find anyone because she's just watching her cam. Legit Queen is not going to show herself.
I think they're going to be happy to play a retake on it. The one thing that's potentially problematic about playing retake on A, especially if you have an operator. Retaking A, just not very favorable for those angles, especially if you can't get those opening picks. But they're going to be happy to take that gamble, see if they can find a kill elsewhere. Now, they will, once again, play very, very slow. True to the form of VLT Asteria, they like to run the clock down low here. Ooh, Legit Queen almost getting that kill off. But that's the A side completely open and vulnerable. They know that they can take A side now. And that kill, that missed shot from Legit Queen, that might bite them in the back. That should have been a 4v5. But Spike will go down regardless here. Muffin Loop will go from up on top just to be in a little bit more of an advanced angle.
Yeah, and a 5v5 retake is actually really difficult. There's the running back already getting deleted by Envious. And it looks like the retake is going to start with an Owl Drone. There's a showstopper being used as well. Immediately trades for Envious, actually. Gets traded there. There's another trade for Muffin Loop this time around, and yet another trade for Casper down to a 2v2. But Britzy is gonna get the last two members alive, and she's gonna clutch this for Asteria.
Only had a shoulder to work with Britzy, proving though that it is more than enough if you've got the aim to back it up, and she does take that round. VLT Asteria have found themselves yet again another lifeline in this one. Big props, however, to Aphrodite, who once again getting opening pick after opening pick here. And, you know, Renatus White, they are really in the driving seat here, but VLT Asteria, they've shown that they can make those big swings happen.
Yep.
And the timeout just worked, okay? But can they get more? Can they get more from it?
This is the question, right? Can they string the rounds together? And it looks like from the flash. Oh, Mochi X just punched a stray. That wasn't a full flash, as Mochi X actually looked away, and that's how she's able to aim back and take her out. And Casper gets taken on as well. Looking like Renatus White's round yet again.
They're peeking from every angle, from mid, from garage, and already getting one up close. I love this change of place here from Renatus. Now they have to deal with Legit Queen, who's just hanging out here towards A. Doesn't even need to swing. She knows that I just need the information. I just got to play my time because my teammate's going to come in already, just round this corner here. It's 5v2. Legit Queen will wait for the right time to strike, finds it. The spike hasn't even gone down. Meow 16K. She's got a lot of people just behind her. Can't even get the timing right on the first one. Envious will seal the deal, and it's going to be match point here for Renatus White.
This feels like a carpet rug pull off of Asteria. They've played a slow default the last 3 rounds, and this time, the last round, it actually worked. And I think Renatus White read that, and because of that, they actually pushed forward on all sides, and basically they just got collapsed on. And Renatus White are on match point now. Great read from them.
Absolutely. Renatus White have just been, I think, in the heads of VLT Asteria in this entire map. You look at every single round that they've run, whether it's a retake, they're capable of taking it back aside. Whether it's a mid-round rotation towards C, they don't bite on the fakes. Like, literally every single read has been going to Renatus White, save for the times when VLT wins out in frags here. But desperate Hail Mary attempt as they try to avoid being defeated here. They gather their forces, they rally their troops here towards the C side, but unfortunately, they will be denied entry. And so they will try to poke and prod elsewhere, but they do not have a lot of map control. They want to go towards A. Problem is, Envious right there already pushed up close. They might not expect her on this off angle if they do rotate there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Asteria still have anything in the tank right now, because look at their economy, look at their guns. There's 2 pistols there, and only 1 full rifle. Only Casper on the Vandal. She has had the hot hands on that. They do have the Bladestorm on Muffin Loop as well, but they just can't find opening frags right now. Time is ticking, and it's only 45 seconds left.
Yeah, and they're looking a little bit unmoored here, like just not sure where to go. And Aphrodite will get again another one here, finding the right timing onto Britzy. So no more Sova, no more recons. And how are you going to enter onto the site with Legit Queen without a recon dart? Legit Queen able to shut down 2 yet again, and it's looking like it's going to be match point here. Game point, sorry, rather. As Mochi X will find another kill, leaving it all to Meow 16K yet again in a 1v5 with just a ghost. And she will be transported to the Spirit Realm. That is it, 13-6. And Renatus White have found the decisive blow on this game. Another amazing performance from the girls in white here. Key, what are your thoughts on that game? Amazing run.
I actually thought it was going to get dicey once Asteria started getting the momentum and started evening things out, and I thought it was going to be, you know, Asteria starting to win here and there. But then Renatus White just took 1 round and then strung it over and over again, and Asteria looked like they suddenly got lost. And I think that it's like you mentioned, it's the mid-round decisions that really hurt Asteria and that made Renatus White successful on Haven, and I think we might still see that on Ascent. I might need to change my 2-1 to a 2-0.
Yeah, you know, honestly, at this point, Renatus White just looking very much clean here. This is a map that we thought that, you know, Asteria White would really perform on. This is one where they're, you know, very much proficient at. Unfortunately, it just didn't show. When it came to the, you know, the expertise on how to handle the map, every single time they were shut down. But again, that was just game number 1. We still have game number 2 coming up very, very shortly. They're not, excuse me, Renatus White looking very much strong here as they do take the momentum towards game number 2. Can they continue on? We'll find out when we get back from this break. Again, this is Illustrato. Alongside me is Kate, your casters here today. We'll be back in just a second. Don't touch that browser.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Valorant Champions Tour Game Changers Southeast Asian Series FSL Elite Analyst Desk, brought to you by our sponsor Intel, supported by Secret Lab, Nanoleaf, and official media partner Yahoo. So we had a pretty convincing map number 1 for Renatus White. As we said, Haven is their map. They came out of the gate strong with that 4-1 right off the bat, ended with a 13-6. Gentlemen, how do we feel about that one?
I thought that was a great game. You know what? I actually got exactly what I was looking for, right? Round 12, we saw it. Kohibi was the only player dead on the side of Renatus White, and they set up a 4-player crossfire, and it worked out beautifully. That was the teamwork that I wanted to see from Renatus White. Like, it looked very back and forth at the very start there, but once I saw a little bit more of that coming out from Renatus White, it wasn't just Kohibi. I mean, sure, the pistol rounds, every pistol round is Kohibi, but after that, just amazing from the team.
Yeah, is like you mentioned, it's the teamwork that actually came to play for Renatus White this time around. Their executes were also so clean. It's not just Kohibi doing all the entries. Sometimes it was K490, Envious getting in there with a spike plan and making sure that the team gets the advantage. I think that was all, it's the whole team. But of course, let's not discount Kohibi still. Like, look at her average combat score, 310, top in the server, with K490 trailing just behind at 275.
Still incredible KD for everyone else though. 2.7, 2.1, 1.7, 1.7. Everyone in a +1 KD there for the side of Renatus White, and the side of Velocity. Well, they had some good performances as well. I think that, I mean, you said it during the cast. That that Shrey pick didn't really work out quite like they wanted it to for Phoenix. I don't think at the very end there it showed exactly what they were hoping to gain.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Casper was really just started the show for Asteria. And Muffin Loop behind, but not even closely behind. Like, Casper was really keeping them in the game. Those rounds that they won, the 5 in a row that they won, was actually behind Casper's clutches. I think she had 3 triple kills in that string of rounds. And in the final round, I thought Asteria Pause was coming in, but that's why I said, no, like, Asteria Pause is going to be snuffed out. And we are going to map number 2 with Renatus White. Dominating performance from them. That map actually felt really fast because the executes were fast, and each round, especially in the first half, just went over in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, very fast-paced from them. I think Kohibi ended with, what, 310 ACS there? I think at going into round 4, she was like 10-1, 459 ACS in the first couple rounds of the game. Just absolutely insane stats. I wanted to ask you guys, because on the pre-series panel, we were talking about how RTS, we don't want to see them be that one-woman show for today. What do we think about how the rest of the team stepped up? Because I think we definitely saw them come up with more strategies. We saw some pretty outstanding performances from the rest of the team as well. There was that one point in the, one of the earlier rounds where Kohibi was trying to satchel to get the Jet, who had the operator over at A Heaven, and so she satcheled, and then Mochi X was with her and saw Ray's satchel. I was like, oh, this is my opportunity, and then she just KS'd the last person. What do you think about how the rest of the team performed?
I thought they did really good. Like, I think that heading into Ascent, obviously we've seen a lot of VLT. They look like they can definitely take an Ascent map, just how that game started. But now that we've seen how that team has been playing together, as well as the fact that now you've got this cohesive team playing, and then you've got Kohibi on the server as well, now it gets all that more difficult for VLT Asteria to now fight against them. 2-0 is looking a little bit more possible now, but I still have hopes for VLT Asteria. I still want to see them keep going. So I'm still thinking about the 2-1, but it's going to be a lot more difficult now, I think.
Key, what do we think? Do we feel that Asteria are in trouble going into map number 2, or how do we feel that they can turn things around and try and play better than they just did?
So Renatus White have had set execution strategies for Haven. I'm not sure if they've prepped as well for Ascent, right? So it really just goes down to whether they can also bring this same level of teamwork into a different map, because Asteria, they do love Ascent and they are very good in the map.
Yep, with that, guys, we are ready for Agent Select. On your screen's gonna take a look to see if there are any surprises. Looks pretty standard so far, almost a mirror matchup. Oh, and yep, there's the KJ. So it is going to be a mirror matchup except for Meow 16k on the Raze this time around. I'm not sure Kohybe's gonna lock that in. I'm not sure she's gonna go with the Sage. What do we
That
think?
is locked in.
It's
That
locked
is
in now.
locked in.
Oh wait,
What?
what?
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways to convert all this utility, right? You've got slow orbs and you've got gravity wells. That means that your Killjoy and your Sova can do the damage with the shock darts into certain positions. You have a little bit of that on VLT Asteria side because they do have the gravity wells from Casper, but everyone else, they do have, I mean, with Raze, you've got a bit of damage that can go through before you even see your targets. And it's a double duelist lineup. This is what VLT Asteria in the past, so they know what they're doing here on Ascent. But the fact that Kohybe has locked in this Sage, I'm not exactly sure what to think. That means they're looking to try and play a little bit more defensively, get a couple more kills on that defender side, and defend those sites a little bit better. And that might actually work out for them.
Yeah, I think they've also gone for a little switch in the lineup, I believe. Queen isn't going to be playing over on map number 2, so that might have affected the way that the rest of the team is just picking their agents. But I mean, Sage, there are 2 ways to play this agent, right? You're either hanging out in the back, being safe, holding that spike, or you're in front, getting those frags, and then just stacking your ultimate all that much faster. So hopefully we'll see the latter coming out from Kohybe. They do have Rue on the team as well, who is playing the KJ, so maybe Rue is going to be on spike duty, who knows.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's certainly possible.
yeah, the walls are also great. I think on Ascent, there's some really cheeky boost spots. But Jenny, I think you want to say something.
Oh, no, you guys. I wanted to ask you guys, just now that we're about ready to get into map number 2, if the predictions have changed at all. Because before map 1, I think we were mostly feeling that 2-1. Now that we've seen map 1, I feel like we're going more towards that 2-0. What are the thoughts?
Now that I've seen that Sage pick, and I know that Kohybe can self-boost and other stuff, I think that it could be a 2-0 now.
Same, 2-0.
All right, guys, I think we're already into game. We're going to hand it over to Illustrato as well as Key. Guys, take it away.
All right, here we go. Game number 2 is nigh, and we're going to be diving straight into it. Ascent is the map of choice, and with delay no longer, we head on over to that game itself. Already, we see a little bit of map control here towards that A. It's looking like an ace play here for Asteria. The wall will finally come out. And Key, we talked a little bit about it on panel. Kohybe on the Sage. Want to see it comes into fruition here, but before we get into that itself, the push already coming towards that A site. The wall has been deployed. Kohybe getting one. It's going to be a crossfire here towards that A entrance. And they're going to be dipping and diving around it left and right, and they actually get the kills. On top of it, Kohybe gets a double. Hasn't been stopped. Has time to heal. And that's going to be Muffin Loop getting the refrag onto Machi X, but they are still stuck in a very tough spot. The flank already coming through. Envious finally getting that kill onto Muffin Loop, leaving us into a 1v3 all up to Britzy, who has the spike, but has a lot of kills to find.
Yeah, it's a 1v3 right now. It's going to be difficult for her to get kills here, and the Frenzy is just going to finish her off. K4Dite getting the head off her counterpart. That's Sova versus Sova, and it looks like the boost from the wall is actually pretty useful there. Oh, this is actually a replay from the previous win. But I just wanted to say the boost from the wall and the double peak, aggressive push from Renatus White there to make sure to punish the slow A push from Asteria. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, these pistol rounds, man, for Renatus White, they're just having, you know, such invariable success on it, and time again, they're able to recreate it. One of the strong suits for Renatus White that unfortunately Asteria have been punished by, and it's giving them really a lot of leeway in these rounds. So I'd like to see them do a little bit better on the pistol, especially in the next one coming up here. But Asteria, they're going to be on that eco round. They're known to be good on the pistols. Let's see if they can get a couple of guns away from Renatus.
Yeah, and really winning the first pistol rounds is actually going to dictate the pace of the game. So if Renatus White can keep this down, especially with those Spectres, they're not messing around. We've seen some teams maybe only buy Spectres for 3 members, maybe 2 of them want to keep for a rifle upgrade eventually, but that can be quite greedy, and I think Renatus White are doing a good job making sure that everyone has the Spectres here playing around the economy advantage that they have for round number 2.
They've got Sheree trying to pick away at the ice wall here towards A, trying to draw the Veil onto the A site, but nobody really going to be making themselves known for now, as the rest of the team, it's clearly just a lurk here towards A. Nobody's fighting, but Meow 16K with a classic from up close. That's already a very successful kill here, and they have already Muffin Loop trying to cut up rotation. She will be cut out right now. Aphrodite with a double.
30 seconds
That's
left.
going to secure themselves another good round here. That should be the end of the anti-eco. They lose one, sure. Lucky X might be in a little bit of trouble. Not with the right click on that range though. But still, Renatus White, they managed to take another one, and very much cleanly so.
Aphrodite's been stepping up this series, like not just in the previous round. Kohabi was still on top, but Aphrodite was a close second. And this is what we were talking about in the panel with Jaeger. He wanted everyone else to show up and not just let it be a Kohabi show. He mentioned Aphrodite, Envious, and Rue and or Legit Queen to show up. And definitely Aphrodite is showing up pretty big in these last two maps.
Well, they have been already turning out with a pretty good performance. Can they recreate that throughout the game? Aggressive control here towards B main, and I like seeing this, especially on the anti-eco round. You want to fight for map control, you want to get up close. This is a really good, strong fundamentals that we're seeing right now, and the fact that they double up on it helps their case even more. The Owl drone will not necessarily spot out one just yet, finally will, but Sheree on top of it is so ready for that peak. Envious, they know there's one more because the Owl drone was spotted. Aphrodite to follow suit shortly thereafter.
Yeah, we've had pretty quiet games from Shrey in the previous round, but I think now you can still see that she's very comfortable with her aim. She's still getting those headshots, and I think this might be finally their round to win. And I think that Shrey's starting to look better, especially back on this Sentinel.
Oh yeah, Shrey definitely looking a little bit more comfortable. Not still the blowout performance Shrey that we've seen getting back-to-back aces, but still it's a little bit of a return to form somewhat here. But Pain Chill yet again. Meow 16K on the Raze. Not so much a great performance last time when she was on the Sentinel, but now already starting to put up numbers early into the game. So this is definitely a breath of fresh air. But up close, Shrey's gonna be able to get one. No, it's actually Meow who does get it. And that leaves it all up to Kohabi, who is in a 1v5, will get flushed out by the Pain Shell. Not going to be taking too much damage, but the sound cue might have actually just given her away. And they're watching that position like a hawk, just making sure they don't lose any more guns.
Yeah, Kohabi just wants to get at least one pick off. There's the remote going on. Does not even get Britzy down. That's going to be a flawless, secret lab flawless round for Asteria. And it's like you mentioned, Meow 16K on the Raze is also something different from the previous map. Shrey is the one that went back to the Sentinel, and Meow 16K on that Raze. This was the Raze that we were looking for in the wildcards, right? This Meow 16K on Raze is really strong, and it's showing.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that, throughout the day, she'll be able to find more and more value with the utility, able to open up sites for her team, because, just on that Cypher, it was very much underwhelming for me. And that if she can maybe, I'd say, be a stronger force on the entries upon clearing those sites, especially here on Ascent, that should definitely be worthwhile for her team. But Shock Dart will be deployed here towards B main. Not going to be finding anyone for now, as it's yet again true to the form of Asteria to spread out, get a little bit more of information, force a couple of rotations, bait out a lot of utility. Nobody really biting again on Renatus White.
Yeah, they're playing very patiently here. Patient, but at the same time with a little bit of aggression. Like, they still take control, but they don't push too far forward. And I think that's really frustrating for Asteria, who are playing the default and looking for kills. They hear the satchel come up. There's the alarm bot spotting her out. They don't know that someone is in the corner, though. That boom bot is going to not find anyone at all. So they're not sure that Kohabi is there. But now that the wall is used, they should know where she is.
Yeah, and she's pretty much pinned up, but there's not enough people to punish it. Envious is right there to get Muffin Loop, though. And Meow is still trying to find some value here towards short, but they're not giving her anything. That Recon Dart's not going to do much because there's two players holding it. They cannot get these kills, and that's stifling their progress here. They're just not being able to get anything here towards that short position. It's held too strongly. And what avenues that they had was towards that CT spawn and towards that B side, but they were just picked apart here towards that entrance, and now they don't really have the numbers anymore. And happily Renatus White will just play back. Now, That's a great entry though from Casper, who gets one. Envious finding 3 kills. The spike going down though, but with 10 seconds left, she has to run onto the side, has to go ahead and plant it. I don't think they can deny it just yet. She might be able to get it off, but can she even hold on to it? They're gonna swarm rush, absolutely zerging the site right now. Showstopper swinging right, gets one, can't take out the gun in time. Still 1 kill for Meow, 16k, but the spike goes down, and yet again, it's gonna be another Renatus round.
Yes, it's what we mentioned in a previous map as well, that the mid-round decisions for Renatus White is what really gets them to gets all those rounds. Like even the B retake there, they know that there's not much time for Meow 16 could actually get the plant, so they actually send 2 members running to the side. But in case both members die, they also have 1 member away from that, so that the time can just run out. They secured that round for sure with those 3 members.
I do not like that Meow 16k stalled so long onto A short. They know that there's 2 there. Just let them have the map control. Make meaningful progress elsewhere. They already got deep towards Pizza, but Muffin Loop already got picked off on her own, and then they had a player towards B main who just died on her own as well. And so it's just these pickoffs that were, I'd say, easily tradable, and you know, map control that they could have easily taken for themselves, but they were, I'd say, given away because they were allocating the resources in strange positions where they shouldn't be. Aphrodite with a Guardian is just so good as well.
I've never seen anyone so effective on the Guardian before, but Aphrodite just makes it work. That gun seems to have her name on it, and it looks like Asteria are starting to run out of answers, especially on the Byrons. Their utility usage is not really flushing Rue out, and she's still holding tree. They've not gained much ground.
Not at all, and this A short has been proving to be so difficult to break through. That's a quick swing out. The Ferrari peek is good right here from Meow 16k. Dashing on in, and Britsy's right there with the backup. That's a spike down though, as Gohaibi looking to hold here towards short. Low HP onto Gohaibi, doesn't matter, the headshot comes in. As Muffin Loop gets decimated, 2v3. And just when they had a little bit of a lifeline towards that A side, it gets snuffed out as the smoke fades away. Just like the hopes from them taking this round, as Gohaibi finding a triple kill, has the res available. Will she even need it? Uses it just for good measure. Swinging around the corner, it's Gohaibi with a 4K. Let's get it, she says, as she picks up another massive kill and another massive round from Renatus White. You guys said it. You want the whole team to step up? Well, here she is.
Yeah, and Gohaibi using that res really ensures the round, either using her teammate as bait or making sure that, you know, it becomes a 3v1 instead. And with someone like Gohaibi, she's gonna get the kills anyway, so why hold that res? You can get some economy back. Look at her, she gets 1 kill here, immediately stops the push from Asteria, slows it down so much that they just can't get the plant down.
Yeah, I think they needed to be a little bit more decisive, Asteria. They got the kills. They needed to have, you know, had the affirmative action to just go onto the site, take the round, and secure that plant. But they stalled out. And as that was happening, they just fall. But now they're trying to work towards B, but they've already lost a couple of players here. It's looking like a good thrifty round so far. Dashing onto the side, Muffin Loop is able to get the kill here alongside that deployed ultimate right there from Killjoy. And that's another kill for Muffin Loop. That's what they've been waiting for here, Asteria. They need their star player to pop off when all things are looking bleak and dark. They need Muffin Loop to be their saving grace, the silver lining on a dark cloud, as Casper will find the round, the kill that they need to get VLT Asteria into a 2-4.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Yahoo Thrifty. Those 2 opening kills though, really punishing the B main push. We like the B main push, but having that partner there should secure the kills, but not if someone is gonna hit those sheriff headshots, and they immediately get deleted off of that B main, and they get the upgraded guns, and suddenly it just fell apart for Renatus White.
That's what I like. That's what I want to see from Asteria. Going just full pelt on it. Just completely having at it in the round. Letting their aim shine. Letting their coordination. Letting their tenacity really speak for them. Because they do have the ability to just go at it and take down heads and be unbridled in the round. But for the most part, they've been looking like they've been watered down. Not so much so now as Shrey finding that kill onto Envious. It is an eco round, however, so the more people they keep alive, the better, and that's definitely one to keep their economy healthy.
Yeah, and they're still playing it safe. It's the patience from Asteria that we've been seeing so far, and Rue is gonna get ahead though. And Mochi Eggs is gonna get another one of her own, and she has control over Spike.
And a Vandal.
Yeah, it's starting to look dicey right now. I mean, it's a 3v3. They still have better guns, but they don't have control over the spike. And now it's starting to look pretty dicey for Asteria. Okay, they're going to get Aphrodite.
One enemy remaining.
Britzy gets the timing. Okay, that's the round, but they still have to recover the spike here. Mochi X has a Vandal, like I said. but not looking the right way. Completely off guard there, and that's going to be a breath of relief here for VLT Asteria, as that almost started to get out of control, a little bit out of hand here with the pistol and the classic kill.
Yeah, and great patient play here. I don't know how Rue gets that headshot there. I think from the sound cue, she expected someone to be running in that direction and immediately gets the head through the smoke. That was actually really interesting. But they made it a bit expensive. On the side of Asteria though, Muffin Loop with the operator, offensive operator, in fact.
I'm excited to see it. I mean, really, Ascent is one of those maps where you can make a lot of room. You can get those opening picks, clear out a lot of angles with that operator, and you know, Muffin Loop finding that aggression, trying to be the first person, that linchpin, that key point for her team to be able to open up those sites. That's absolutely vital in a game like this, especially when they're looking a little bit worn down from the previous one. But the Hunter's Fury will be deployed, will be enough to force a tailwind out, but not enough to find a kill. Kohaibi should be able to heal her up in a minute after that timer does go through here. Operator shot goes wide there towards Pizza. That's going to signal them to rotate towards A.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow from Asteria yet again, but I think they should be pretty decisive when they actually choose to take on the site. There's a Jet Stealer being annoying, and that fly is going to get swatted by Kohaibi. Quick headshot onto Muffin Loop, who was playing with the Blade Storm, but could not find any heads. That's going to be the execute now. 16k, Satchel's in, but the gravity well actually slows her down so much. There's the lockdown being committed as well. Mochi X with a kill, and it's now down to a 5v3. Asteria, do they have the answers for this?
Looking like they
30 seconds left.
are not going to be... Though they will get detained, actually. Just one player in the end. Casper's right there to find Kohaibi, though. The spike has not gone down. They haven't found any real estate. It's a beautiful lockdown to actually delay the plan. And 15 seconds left. They have to go. They have to go now, but they'll be threading the needle here towards A side. And with so little time, they just can't do it. It's Envious with a triple kill cleanup right now on Renatus White side to easily whittle out any presence that there was remaining onto that A side. VLT Asteria, once more, they get shut down with a clock behind their back.
Yeah, it's definitely the timing that actually forced them to push through that smoke, and they had no more utility to use to actually stop Envious from getting that triple kill. And because they did not have time on their side, they just couldn't do anything at all, and Envious shut them down cleanly.
It's just the timing on the defender lockdown was nigh perfect, and the combination of the gravity well that was used just so nicely from Mochi X. Just able to find that kill onto Meow 16k, was caught out in the open, and the utility once more shining from Renatus White. Now, how are they going to answer back? They have still enough money. The operator just wasn't doing it for them, and so they will have to be a little bit more spread out. Trying to find a couple more picks here. Rue just around this corner. We'll be waiting for the contact of this alarm bot before the swing out comes, and it's good enough to do some damage, but not enough to find a kill.
Yeah, Muffin Loop gets really low, and what's worked for Asteria so far is fast, aggressive executes on the site. And I feel like when they do these slow defaults, they're actually playing into Renatus White's game, which is they're holding very strong double peak angles. They're holding crossfires as well. You can see on mid, and they're just playing back. And Asteria, they're not gonna find anything.
Yeah, once again, they're basically starved of map control. They're unable to get any meaningful progress. And sure, they have some, but at 33 seconds left in the round, they're leaving themselves with such little room for error. Every single round, they're pushing it to the wire, to the limit, to be able to get onto these sites, to break into it. And now they're trying to go for this contact play here. Rue will hear the footsteps coming across, not going to try to spray through here, knowing that her back might be vulnerable. They have to clear out Mochi X. They pop out and emerge, rather. It's Casper who does get one. Traded out by Envious, though, but Britzy will find the refrag. Now it's a 4v3, and they actually do get the spike plant, but they're locked into sight. They have to fight. They know they need to. Kohaibi's right there to get Muffin Loop, and that's going to be the showstopper deployed here. Up close and personal. She finds one, but she's trapped within the corner. Has to peek, but from behind, she does get shot down. 5-3 will become 4 right now. Sorry, 6 as Renatus White yet again will be able to get another round. And it's coming to these rounds, Key. Just they need to leave themselves a little bit more time to get into those post plans.
Yeah, they just couldn't even get the clean sight when they planted the spike. Look at this, the spike has been planted, but they haven't cleared the site yet, and because of that, they lose some members to some trades. Kohibi with a 6th sense, finding Muffin Loop in short, but at that point in time, it was a bit too late, and here comes the Asteria pause.
Let's see if the Asteria pause does make a difference this time. It wasn't exactly the Damascene conversion that we were expecting last time, but maybe this time it'll be a full revelatory pause that we're used to seeing, as you know, Asteria like to do. But with their economy a little bit in ruins, I suppose they're trying to figure out what they can buy. They have Britzy, who can drop a couple of pistols in, maybe spread it, share the wealth with a couple of sheriffs here and there, and they have been successful on the pistols. They can hit the shots, but whether Renatus White will let them is a very different question entirely.
Yeah, for sure. Those sheriffs can be deadly in the hands of Asteria, but Renatus White, they've just been so strong right now. Every time Asteria find a little bit of a footing, they take it away from them. And Renatus White, their defense is just so strong. I think this is exactly why they put Kohibi on the stage. You can see her performing, and that wall has been very annoying for Asteria, especially those extra angles. So she's really playing the stage to perfection, and she has the res back up yet again. So if any of her teammates die, she could just res one of them and make it really a numbers game.
You, I think, hit the nail on the head, and one of the beautiful things about it is, the wall and the slow orb is because they know that Asteria like to run the clock down low, how much more time they can buy with their utility. That's a lot of time that they actually can do with the slow orb, the walls, the gravity wells, everything just going against VLT Asteria. So they have to be a little bit more decisive when they enter into those sites here. Aldrone will spot out one, but only one, I think. Around the corner, Muffin Loop was just waiting. Still an eco round, and they have had a lot of success now. They have the map control. Now they get pizza.
Yeah.
But there's 3 players waiting on the other side of it.
It's funny how it's now that they actually have the map control. They actually get a kill onto Aphrodite, but Kohibi is gonna have a skewer of her own. Gets 3, gets 4, even might be the ace for Kohibi, and she completes the intel ace on that battle stage.
Wow, already now again. Okay, she used the res a couple of rounds ago. She's gonna have it right back up. 5 charges for you. Definitely the round, the game that we want from Kohibi. An absolute textbook performance from this battle sage here. Unrelenting as she doesn't give up the side, wants to fight for it, and with good reason, as never will she sequester it without being forced to relinquish the side. 5 full kills for her, and again, the res absolutely massive, can come out whenever they need it.
Yeah, and it's 7-3 right now, and this is a serious map pick, just like to remind everyone that Renatus White are ready for Ascent, and they're ready for Asteria.
This is one of the best I think I've seen Renatus White play. When I'd say a couple of open to go, yeah, they have the aim, yeah, they can clutch, but do they have the teamwork? Now they're answering it with a resounding yes.
I've never seen them so cohesive either. I think something happened between last week and now, and I think that's the great part about tournaments with a little bit of break in between. They actually get to retool. They just maybe sit down, re-strategize, find out what's going on, find out what's going wrong also. And look, last week we actually saw them go 11-13 twice against Altigo Celeste. Definitely not a team to snooze at. Meow 16k with the flights. Envious getting deleted with that Phantom. This is exactly what they need. And it's going to be a 3v4 retake for Renatus White.
That is the entry they were looking for. That's got to ignite them for sure. But there's a res on the other side, like we mentioned in the previous round. So it's a 4v4 retake. Now they can actually set up a post attack. So this might be a little bit better, as it's a great kill from Britzy. Traded out by Ruin as well as Stray. Still a 3v2 right now. Kiprodite will be trying to use the Odin to spam through. Mochi X does get one in. It's Kiprodite once again with the Odin to find a double kill. Renatus White have found one more round here to take us 8-4. And just Kiprodite, Kohibi, they're all stepping up. Every single one of the members here of Renatus White, exactly what they look for. They're bright spots, flashes of inspiration from VLT Asteria, especially on those entries. But they're only flashes in the pan, as they're unable to close out the rounds right after that.
And this Odin, absolutely deadly. That bullet went through the floor, but that's what the Odin is good for, and that's why the Odin is amazing on Ascent. We've seen a lot of Sovas do this to perfection, and that's exactly why you buy an Odin on this map.
Just the Sova on the Odin absolutely crucial here. Spots the shoulder. Oh, just enough. And Shrey left rocked by it. There's no way that she could have done anything about that. Hunter's Fury though, but it's on the wrong target. The Jet, that's the last person you want to commit the Hunter's Fury on. So a little bit of, I'd say, of a misplay here for Britzy. Obviously, the Jet can easily get out of a Hunter's Fury, and so Muffin Loop will bring things back, though. Envious has been spotted out. We'll find another look at that entry. Has to come up huge here. The gravity well can't get out of it, and it's awkward for Kohaibi, but Britzy will go down eventually. Casper looking to push through the smoke. Not ready for it was Kohaibi, and Rue is able to get a trade-off. Still a 2v2 now. The spike will go down, and they're far removed. They're far away from the spike, but still, they've got the time.
Yeah, this is where Rue and Mochi X have to step up. There's the Cosmic Divide being used as well. That's Casper's Cosmic Divide. Mochi X can add even more chaos to this by adding her own Cosmic Divide, and it's now a big cross there, and I'm not sure what they can do here.
There's a little bit of a couple, there's a couple of pockets where they can hide themselves.
Too many pockets.
But yeah, and now I'm absolutely befuddled as to how they're going to approach this one. One fades away, but there's still another one. So it's a little bit curious as Casper gets one, looking for the double here, swings around the corner, and she's going to make the triple kill with a last bullet. Absolutely beautiful from Casper yet again, keeping Asteria alive here. She has been the guiding light, the force, which is keeping Asteria alive.
Yeah, not just on this map, but also the previous map as well. Envy is getting the first kill there. I thought Renatus had this in the bag, but Muffin Loop just getting those 2 quick headshots at the beginning was just so sharp. And look at this last play, 2v1, they play it so well. The Jet doesn't peek until someone commits, and maybe if Rue swings that, the Jet is there to punish. So they played it so well, and Casper, of course, with that aim, getting the 3k there to secure the round for them. 4-8 right now. I mean, could have been worse, right? But Casper is there to save the day.
It's a great round here from Asteria, again from Casper. Just the fadeaway tap to end things. Really great work here, but still 8-4. They need to win the pistol. And this is where Asteria have been stalled out in the middle of the freeway. They can't find the pistol rounds. And you know, when you don't win the pistol rounds, that's a lot of momentum that you're denying yourself. So they have to win this one. They have to be able to keep it clean here and try to get themselves this pistol and, you know, reduce that gap on the scoreline.
I remember reading a statistic about when you win a pistol round, what is your % chance of winning the whole game? And if you win both pistol rounds, the % chance of winning the whole game goes up to 70. And it really goes to show how important these pistol rounds are. 70, 75? But, I mean, it really goes to show these pistol rounds are.
I think it was 80.
I think it was close to 80. Yeah, I think you're right. I think first pistol round win is already pretty high, like 60 plus.
Yeah, and if you get 2, it's like 80% chance to win the match. But we'll see. Now it's a 4v5 though. VLT Asteria, they have a little bit to go off of, so a one-man advantage. They can try to play off of this, but they have to go into fully stacked A site. Nobody onto A main though. Rue is gonna get that chance here, but will denied by the shock dart. And Britzy is good for 2. Now it's up to Kohaibi who gets 1. Looking for another. Has to reload around the corner. They can't commit onto this defuse just yet because Britzy will close it out. 3 kills from Britzy. Now it's her turn to step up. 3 kills from her gets us the 8-5, and that was exactly what Asteria needed.
Yeah, Britzy, just like to remind people as well, if you missed the interview, she was actually playing on a 60Hz monitor before this tournament, and now she's stepping up because now she finally has a good PC, and it's really showing.
You know, I think there is no bigger jump in the whole of PC gaming to go from like 60 to 144 hertz.
Truly
like,
nothing.
I think that is literally the biggest
Even
jump.
if you go from 144 to anything else, it's just
law of diminishing returns.
Just diminishing returns. But 60 to 144, you see things that you've never seen before. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, things are smooth.
Oh, I felt it. Like when I finally switched to 144, butter, absolute butter, mint. But they now will be grouping their way towards that A site. They find a kill through the smoke from Kepherdai just for good measure. Well, they'll find her and they go down. 4v5 now as they're looking like they're in a little bit of trouble here, hoping that somebody walks into their crosshairs. Casper does, but there is a smoke to obscure the vision for the meantime here. Rue looking to push through, getting that kill, and they're getting the kills with the pistols. A little bit haphazard from Renatus White here. I mean, excuse me, from Asteria, as they take a couple more fights that they wanted, and They brought it to a 3v3 with a spike going down. It's already a successful eco here from Renatus.
Yeah, and for Renatus White, this is more than what you wanted, right? You get the spike down, you get 2 of them down, you still have 3 alive. And if Kohibi gets the jump on their retake here, I think it's gonna be really bad for Asteria.
This is everything that Renatus White they want right now. They don't really have the weaponry, but they're gonna try to make it work here as Muffin Loop and Britzy, they clean up the side back onto the side. It's Meow 16k to find Mochi X, and with they will actually pick up that Spectre that they did lose. So in essence, they only really lost 1, but still, it is VLT Asteria to actually pick up that round here. And Renatus White, they weren't very convincing on that. They did get a couple of kills here. Eventually, it did start to fall apart for them. But great attempt at the round anyway.
Yeah, I think Renatus White, especially on this defensive side, attacky side rather, we've yet to seen them have a clean execute. But of course, it's still early in the second half. So now on this buy round, this is where they have to show us whether they can actually have the executes to break down Asteria's defense.
Well, the defense has been pretty solid thus far. The operator coming out early, and even though she was body blocked by her team, I thought that would get in the way, but it didn't. Envious did go down. Now they know that there is an operator. There is no res, but if there are a couple of orbs that go her way for Heidi, they could actually get it off here. They know that the op's still towards that A side, but the orb will actually go towards Rue, who will deploy that lockdown very shortly.
This operator is already spelling trouble for them, and this is one of the things that I mentioned, right? Like some don't like to buy on round number 2 so that they can get a big gun round 3. This is the jet that actually does that. And I think for Muffin Loop, it's actually very effective. For the way Asteria play, this operator is an integral part of their defenses. We saw that on Haven. Once she got the operator, it started getting rounds for them.
Muffin Loop. Oh, stunned Rue. She actually does get taken down here. But with a pixel angle, Kohibi landing the headshot. Now she can actually get the res off of here. And it's going to allow them a little bit more of a chance in this round. The operator is now down. The site is clear. They're going to be trying to work it. Shrey, the headshot angle, will be spotted herself. She gets caught out, but Britzy's right there with the response. Still a 3v2 now, as Meow 16k is right there with the punish. And the spike has not gone down at all. So VLT Asteria, with 15 seconds left, they have a good advantage. But Kohibi does get a punish. Quick adjustment. That's 3 kills she's found. She's looking to get more. Envious does the trick. And Renatus White managed to find the 6-9. Just when you think the round was going to Asteria's way, they pull it back.
I think that Kfredite losing the angle after getting Shreyu's beanie was actually pretty bad, because she didn't expect 2 people to come from heaven. She gets picked off. But Kohibi and Envious, of course, the last 2 members you want to keep alive, they're very clutch. And see, look here, Britzy actually just gets Kfredite for free, but Kohibi is going to get the shot, and Envious is going to be the one to finish off Britzy. So great adjustment there for Renatus White, and securing them the round 6-9 right now.
Yeah, and that definitely should have been around. That hurts the economy so much of Asteria. That operator investment. Now they're trying to combat here towards mid. Will they expect Meow 16 up close? Yes, they will. And through the smoke, Kohibi, my god! She's just not stopping. She gets everybody. And that's another triple kill for her. And look, she just
res. Now she has 4 orbs yet again.
On my 25!
Okay, we were talking about, let's not make this the Kohibi show. But it is like, you can't help it. She can't help it. She's just finding all those kills, and she's just filling up that Sage bar. And she's just getting these reses left and right, and is really helping her team out. These reses make sure that they have the numbers advantage. And 10-6 right now, and it's yet another Asteria pause.
All right, Asteria pause. It hasn't been doing the magic that it had before. All right, maybe the spell has been broken. Maybe the magic has faded. But who knows? Maybe this one will be the break that they need. Because the last time they did that, the legendary Asteria pause, it was also on Ascent.
Oh.
So, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have...
It was on Ascent, wasn't it?
The first one was split. I think the second one is Ascent. You're right.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, and they did one on Haven. Oh my god, they just did it everywhere.
They do it everywhere.
But yeah, in this timeout, I'm struggling. VLT, Asteria, they're getting the early rounds yet again. They're getting the picks, but just like in the previous game, the mid round they start, I don't know, losing it. They didn't reposition when it was like 15 seconds left. They just hoped that the crossfire would work, and in the previous round, and it just faltered. And you know, VLT Asteria, they need to do a little bit better, I think, in closing out these rounds if they want to get this win, because they're almost out of the game here.
It just feels like they're just not very dynamic in their mid-round decisions, and that's what's hurting them. Muffin Loop, though, with a clean kill onto Envious. This is exactly what we've seen, right? Every single round, it's like that. They find one kill, and then all of a sudden, they're not sure what to do. Like, this is where Renatus White are outplaying them. The mid-round decisions, the adjustments, even down 4v5, they still have a plan in mind, and Asteria, they need to be ready for whatever decisions that Renatus White will take.
Well, now the decision is to go towards A.
Tap clear.
Yeah, just to make sure that nothing was red in front of her. If you're wondering why she would shock dart the ground, for the people who are watching who may be new, it's just to make sure that there's nothing there. So it will allow them safe passage to the A side, somewhat. Recon dart does come in. That should be the start of the play here. That's the boost up on top. Aphrodite trying to make sure that nobody gets up close. And that should be the spike down any second now. Not really going to be committing to it just yet. Not until they close the door. But Meow, what a good fadeaway. That's the spike gone. That's the spike down already. Hunter's Fury to be deployed on top of it. What a flick from Meow, 16k. Kohaibi with another double. Has a res yet again. She could if she needs to, but it's a 1v3. Might just save it for the next round because things are already starting to get out of hand.
She can't res anyone in a safe spot, so I think it's not going to be used this round at all. She probably wants to try to save the gun, maybe get as many kills as she can before she dies. Oh, she gets spotted by the bolt there. And Shock Dart's coming out. She's going to get shut down by Muffin Loop, who is in free. And this is where Asteria, that's exactly what Asteria need, right? That pause and finally slowing things down, getting this first pick from Muffin Loop as well, in combination with the Gravity Well. I think is a really good play.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, you know, Muffin Loop with that operator, it's definitely something that they need to get going, because on a map like Ascent, and especially up against a team like Renatus White who like to run those defaults at the very start, you can punish those defaults by putting that operator in advanced positions, by trying to get them in, you know, those angles that they can fall back and get one pick after the, you know, get one pick and then fall back. And that's exactly what worked out for them. So hopefully they try it a little bit more. They're doing it here towards mid. Muffin Loop will spot the shoulder. Oh, just misses the shot. A little bit premature on it. Still, we'll be trying to repeat.
Yeah, Jet looks extremely skinny when she's on Blade Storm. Look at that. Yeah. it's pretty hard to hit because she's actually standing sideways. So I think that's what Muffin Loop was trying to shoot at. But Envy is here with the Blade Storm. Let's see what she can do. They have a little bit of a broken buy here on the side of Renatus White. But that information allows Casper to get a headshot.
Huh? I thought that was a kill for sure onto Aphrodite, but I guess not. And just when they get tagged up, they manage to make a beeline towards that side. 4v5 now as the retake does commence. The res is available if it so is needed, but we're going to try to spam through this smoke just to find her. But not going to be today here, as they will try to clear out B main just to make sure nobody's there. And that's the Cosmic Divide being deployed here. Nice shot from Meow, but an even better follow-up from the rest of VLT Asteria. And once more, they will find, yet again, another round. 8-10 now, and
yeah,
this might have been it. This might have been the pause, the thing. They did the thing.
Yeah, I think this pause really works out so well, and they do have a coach. Just for the viewers who are not aware, Asteria actually have a coach. Was it Akali that was their coach? Yeah, and then I think that the coach helps a lot in these timeouts, right? Like being able to plan for what do we do now, or what can we change, or what's going on, what's going wrong. And Renatus White are the ones going to call a timeout right now because they probably feel that this game is starting to slip out of their hands. It's 10-8 right now. They still have a bit of a lead, but they want to really put Asteria away.
Oh yeah, just two more rounds. 2 more rounds, Key, is all that they need, and so they need to stem the bleeding, man. They need to stop it from happening, from this getting out of hand, because right now Renatus White, they are just hemorrhaging rounds. And so they will have to find a way to do it, and that's probably going to come in the form of this tactical pause here. They need to reassess what they're doing wrong. And a lot of it is coming from that early aggression that you mentioned here, Key. Just that early peak, those early peaks that are coming from Renatus White that are giving them such a lot of problems. Sorry, from VLT that are giving them such problems.
Yeah, we'll have to see if their executes can actually work out this time. And especially Muffin Loop, that's one of the biggest problems they have right now. They are just not addressing this operator.
It's so hard to, though. You know, I do have to give them props because, like, it's difficult to deal with an aggressive pushing operator on Ascent, especially if they're dynamic. But at the same time, they don't really have a lot to... I mean, sure they do. They have the Owl Drone and whatever, but they normally save those for when they go ahead and do those executes. So might be wise to start considering using that utility a little bit earlier on just to be able to force out the operator. Now here towards mid, they do find Envious. Does get tagged up, but they give up mid completely. It's a 3-2 stack here for VLT Asteria, just hoping that they full execute on site, that they make the right read.
And there's the Aldron getting a bit of information. Gravity Well being used across the map for some support there. And they are going to get into tree, but they are going to get traded 1-for-1 right now. But there's the res coming in from Kohaibi. This is where the Sage play comes in. She takes Britzy down as well, already charging up that res bar yet again. And they have to hide a little bit because the stun comes out. And it's still a 5v3 though, so they are comfortable.
Yeah, it's not entirely impossible, but definitely going to be difficult here. This 5v3 retake does come in, especially with an operator. No, that's going to be it. That has to be the round. That has to be save call already, as Muffin Loop still wants to try here, just hoping to get lucky. They'll consider the retake if they can maybe get a pick like in the next, what, 5 seconds, but I really don't think it's going to come in here. The retake's looking too difficult. Sheree is good for the flank though, so this opens up a little bit of an avenue for possibility. But Kohaibi on this off angle, the wall should drop soon and the spike should go off any minute now. They're making things expensive though, as Muffin Loop does creep on closer, and they've cleaned up everyone. I don't think they have the time. 10 HP? No way, no chance in hell, but they get all of the kills anyway. Muffin Loop might not survive, and that's gonna be a 3k for her in the end. It's a great round for both teams, actually, but VLT, they get 5 kills, so that's gonna hurt the economy of Renatus.
Yeah, I mean, no one survived that whole round. And I think that, look, we've seen Renatus White always have those like open angles sometimes. There's some sneaky flanks coming in, and it was pretty dicey, but it was a bit too little too late. And Renatus White, I think they're gonna feel good because they still have some guns. Their economy isn't completely broken. They can still buy right now, but they do have to win this one because look at Muffin Loop. She's the only one with a gun on her team, but they trust her enough with the operator that they actually let her buy it because they probably feel like if she doesn't get the kills this round, they probably can't win at all.
Well, they absolutely need to win these duels on these pistols. They don't really have much in the tank.
Finished.
Rue is just waiting for it. Too quick on it. Too aware. That's B-side completely open. They know that there's a possibility of more. But Muffin Loop, great shot towards Mochi X here, towards mid. Rue, the timing doesn't work out. But still, Casper does go down, misses the chance, misses the opportunity here. And Meow 16k. I'm a little bit apprehensive about this operator buy, but they've still managed to bring it to a 3v2. So it's decent for now. The spike does drop. Go down rather. The spike does get planted, and there's a lot of utility, but not a lot of HP.
Yeah, and the HP, Meow 16k can just get picked off by that turret even. And Muffin Loop misses the shot onto the turret. Finally finishes it off, but Meow 16k is dangerously low. Just a breath of air will actually take her down. And it looks like they're gonna try to go for this retake. Meow 16k actually takes a shot to the head. Muffin Loop, lone member of Asteria with that operator, will probably elect to save this after getting killed. Oh, she's actually gonna try for it, but she only finds one. The rest of the team is hiding, and great patience from them. Rue is gonna peek out right now, and Muffin Loop is gonna get her, but there is just no time, and I think she will fall to the spike here.
I don't think she will survive. Yeah. And that's 2 operators that they've lost in a row. This is tilt territory here for Muffin Loop and the rest of VLT Asteria.
It's definitely tilt territory because 8-12 is still... There's still a chance. If you save this operator to the next round, you can still do something. But at this point, she should have already chosen to run away because this kill is...
inconsequential.
Yeah, there's just nothing at all. Like, no value to it. And, you know, okay, she can buy the operator again, but she has no armor this time.
I mean, who needs the kill when they're 12 and 8? The economy doesn't matter. If they had that money with the operator last round, Keferdadi might not have been on a Guardian. I mean, she's great on it. Sorry, excuse me. No, never mind. They full buy. My bad. But Keferdadi, oh, it's an operator. Doesn't care if it's an operator on the other side of it. She's just better with a Guardian in her hand.
I've never seen someone play the Guardian so well. But Britzy is going to take Kohaibi down here, evening things out, and he's going to take Envious down as well.
Absolutely massive, and Keferdadi is good right now with the Hunter's Fury. Will find a kill, bring it to a 3v3. Casper has a response. No one gets detained by this thus far, but the spike will head towards that A site. They can get it planted. Recon will be taken down immediately here. Right around the corner, there goes the lockdown. It might see the shoulder, sees the barrel of the gun. That's more than enough for Britzy. Triple kill. They look like they've kept themselves alive, but Rook here in a 1v2 will get pinged up. They almost line up, but it's Britzy with a 4K just when her team needs her the most to keep themselves avoiding elimination. And VLT Asteria survive yet again another round. 3 more is what they need to bring us to overtime.
Yeah, that was great heroics from both Sovas even. Britzy with the kill here, really getting Kohaibi. Peeks out against Envious as well, getting her in the head there. I think Envious just really wasn't ready for the re-peek, and Casper getting that kill. Look at the movement there. She gets out of the lockdown in time, and Britzy gets Keferdadi. The timing on that kill. Just beautiful round.
I mean, it's so good. Like the last step she did was just to get out of the AoE of the
the lockdown,
effective range of the lockdown, and then just counter strafing right into a shoulder peek. Just beautiful.
Just amazing play from Casper there. And now Renatus White are actually on the back foot. Look at them. They're on Sheriffs right now.
Sheriffs have been still a very much lethal weapon here in the hands of actually any of these teams. Any of these two teams, they have just been so good. So
what?
Oh my god! Excuse me!
That's not supposed to happen. That was through the smoke without any information. She just shoots through that smoke there.
That's not right! Oh my god! Ivy!
That's absolutely illegal. I'm not sure what happened. MochiX gets caught with her knife out. Casper with a great push out there. Looks like Shrey is going to spot some members of Renatus White going onto the B side here. The spike is not there yet though. Britzy with the information shoots through the wall. And it looks like they're still going to be able to get into the site.
Yeah, now they're gonna, I mean, they're gonna get it, right? They're gonna get that spike probably down. Oh, but Hunter's Fury committed just for it here. Kohaibi's getting another one. That's a lot of value from just one Sheriff. And they've expended a lot of weaponry and even 2 kills in the Hunter's Fury. So pretty good equal round from Renatus White regardless of how it turned. Jesus, look at that.
Just absolutely insane. And look, Casper getting a kill there. Really good because they don't have to worry about their flanks anymore. And just pretty good play from Asteria that maybe that pause is coming into play finally. 10 to 12 right now, and Renatus White, they just need one more round.
Just one round to eke out the victory. Muffin Loop here will be going for the aggressive peek of the operator. That's one way to deal with it. Force him out of position. Force him to take a shot earlier on. But Envious, great shot onto Shrey, and that's the Sentinel gone. Plus a lot of the defensive prowess of VLT Asteria just removed from the picture completely.
Yeah,
and again, it's been a, I'd say, underwhelming performance here from Shrey thus far.
Yeah. Completely agree, and really getting that kill onto the killjoy ensures that going to the site you're not going to run to random nano swarms. There's no turret that's going to spot you, and they are going to execute with a Cosmic Divide. Envious gets taken down though. Meow 16k with that Spectre. He's going to throw the pain shells as well.
Oh, almost. Just gets taken off the board there with that swing out, but still managing to survive for the meantime. Now the pressure is on. A couple of Cosmic Divides have been deployed now, and see how they can roll with the punches as they now try to race their way towards that A side. And they go Nitrous offside. It's Ivy to get another kill. Renatus White are on the brink of taking the game, taking the series 2-0. Can they do it in this 3v4? Now, Ruse playing this off angle here towards Hell around Generator. Will be swung out on, has not the aim. It's Casper who does it once more for her team. Britzy knows where one is. Tries to find
enemy
another.
remaining.
Can't do it. Has been swung from behind, and it is gonna be Mochias with a triple kill to get Renatus White the 13 and 2-0.
That was clean 2-0 for Renatus White. The second game looked a bit dicier, but this was Asteria's map pick, and they were ready for that.
Absolutely. It's just, I really think that when it came down to it, blow for blow, just the performance of the individual players of Renatus White just that much better. We talk about the players on their side. My God, Kohibi, what an absolute turnout from her. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And just goes to show that, yeah, they are developing at such a rapid pace. Renatus White, they've always been the perennial, I'd say, second or third best team in the region. In SEA and here in FSL, but now I don't know. Things are looking like they're shaping up.
Yeah, and just want to shout out to our sponsors, of course, Nanoleaf with their clutches. You can see the panels right behind me. Secret Lab, of course, sponsoring our chairs, making sure we're seated quite well. And of course, don't forget the Secret Lab giveaway. You can see that on chat. The mechanics will be there. They are giving out a chair as well.
Oh my God, if you want to get as comfy as we are on broadcast, and we got those long broadcast days, we'll make sure to check out that giveaway we got for you guys. But in the meantime, we do have to take a short break. It has been it for me, Estrado. I'm signing off for now. I got a little bit of a break before I go into a panel later on. But I'm going to leave you guys in the capable hands of our panels after this break. So don't go anywhere. The Game Changers will be back.
Welcome back to the Analyst Desk for the VCT Game Changers CFSL Elite. Once again, it's me, your host, Ray Richard, with our panelists, Jaeger, as well as Key, to wrap up our first series for the day. And we just saw a pretty convincing 2-0 from Renatus White. I mean, things looked a little bit dicey towards the end of Map 2 when Renatus White were just struggling to get that very last match point. They got there in the end, finally. But Jason, Key, what do we think about that one?
It felt like they heard me. Like, from the first map, everyone other than Kohibi was putting in so much work. And then after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I saw what I wanted to see. And they're like, okay, Kohibi, it's your turn. You take care of all the rest of it. And I'm like, okay, sure. And Kohibi just did it, right? She finished off the map time and time again. We had a lot of good contributions from the rest of the team, but it really was the Kohibi show on that second map. And while they proved themselves two ways over this time around, Kohibi can show up, and the rest of the team can show up as well. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. So GG well played there, deserved the 2-0. And we had to change our minds after that first game, but it looks like our predictions the second time around were correct.
Yeah, and it's exactly what he said, right? The Kohibi did not need to show up that hard, but she did anyway. Well, the rest of the team was still showing up. Basically, Aphrodite with the Guardian, absolutely filthy headshots. But the Battle Sage was just so good in this map, and so many reses there. Unfortunately, we don't see like the number of reses that they actually have here. But I think this is map number 1. Kohibi with a 310 combat score and the 13-6 against Asteria.
Yeah, just absolutely insane. I mean, we were talking Agent Select about how Sage was a bit of an uncharacteristic pick for Kohibi, and we weren't really sure how that would play out. And then there was that one round where she just straight up aced the entire squad of VLT Asteria and just got 5 charges on her ult, and she just kept stacking it so fast. And Quack as well in our Discord, who was watching the games, was saying that it just looked like RTS strat coming into today was just like, all right, we're gonna release the Kohibi, and Kohibi just go kill them all. That's gonna be their strat for today. It was just absolute pleasure to watch.
Yeah, and we'll have to see the map number 2 stats, because that's what I'm interested in. Like, how many kills did Kohibi end up with? Okay, there, 33 kills. We didn't even go to overtime here.
Yeah, that is sick.
That's so ridiculous. That's more than twice Envious's combat score there. 278. Kohibi, like, chill. Well, you don't have to chill, actually. Keep going. I mean, if you're gonna fire up like that, might as well keep going, because that can carry them very far in this tournament. Especially if we get that performance from Kohibi and the performance from the rest of that team on Haven come up against any of these other teams, Mad Army, Nigma Galaxy, Celeste. You better believe they're gonna be on their heels the entire time there, because that is just such a scary prospect coming in. From our team there, from Renatus White.
Yeah, and they were very close as well against Alter Ego Celeste, right? 11-13, and if they can fire on all 5 cylinders, the next time they meet, I think they might have a chance to actually take the series.
Yep, for sure. Of course, commiserations to VLT Asteria with this loss over in the lower bracket. It does mean that they are out of this year's VCT Game Changers Southeast Asia FSL Elite. But I mean, still, we've seen this team just grow, especially in the last couple of months, as we've talked time and again. PC buff, ping buff, just a boot camp buff as well. And even without all of that fancy tech stuff, just individual mechanics, the team strats, the teamwork from these girls has definitely been very nice to see. But with that, guys, we do have Legit Queen from Renatus White over on standby for today's winner interview. Legit Queen, hello.
Hi, hello.
Hi! Thanks for the interview. Of course, congrats on winning today's clean 2-0 over VLT Asteria. Your team plays with a more than 5-person roster, and you weren't playing on map number 2. So I just wanted to talk to you firstly about how the team decides who plays which games.
At the start, it was they asked me which map I don't really like. And yeah, my first choice was split because I'm not very good at split. Yeah, so yeah, then from there they decided to they split how me and Ru would take different maps. Yeah, so that's how they came up with the 3-3. Like I take Haven Breeze Icebox, then Ru would take Split Fracture and SN.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. I think a lot of the teams that tend to run the same sort of strat as Renatus White go for more agent picks instead of map picks as well. But I remember we saw Ru play the Killjoy over on map number 2, also map 2 on Ascent. The team picked up Sage for Kohairi. I wanted to ask why, because we usually see her play Duelist.
I think she just wanted to have like fun with like the 6 walls. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely had a lot of fun that game. We saw her like get the ace, and it was just like an instant 5 charge onto her ult.
Yeah.
It was very nice to see. But I wanted to also talk to you about how your team plays without a coach, because we've heard that Renatus White don't have a coach. So I wanted to ask who shot calls for the team usually?
Usually it's Envious who will do the like IGLing. Yeah. We don't have a coach because every time after training we will watch back like our mistakes, then we try and learn from there and find out ways to counter like enemies who keep like abusing certain like areas of the map. Yeah. But it's like a team call. Like each of us will try and make some calls, then we'll decide before the round starts. Yeah.
So what you're saying, mainly in game it would be Envious. What about all of the preparation that the team does before a competition? So for example, like the scrimming, like who motivates the team to say like, okay, so this week we're gonna scrim this amount of games, or this week like maybe I want to see the girls playing a certain number of matches in ranked. How does that happen? Is it very like self-motivated, or what do you all usually do?
We usually just take 1 to 2 screens every day from Monday to Friday. Yeah. Then if got extra time, we'll just watch through the replays of the screen and see what went wrong, or like what's like good that we can learn from the opponent. Yeah.
I think one of the things that a lot of people who have been watching Renatus White for a long time noticed that compared to in the past, especially a few months ago, and looking at how the way the team plays right now, especially this weekend and last weekend, the team has a lot more strategies. There's more cohesion. So I wanted to ask, especially since the girls don't have a coach, like who usually comes up with this type of strategy before the game, or say like during agent select as well? How do you all decide as a team what your composition is going to be?
I would say usually it's Envious will call out the shots, then the rest of us will just give information of where like certain opponents play, then we'll decide from there like where to hit. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's more of a as the game happens.
Yeah.
kind of situation. Okay, so my last question for you today is that your next match is going to be versus either Enigma Galaxy or TC Arise, depending on who wins this best of 3. Are you looking forward to either of these teams in your next match, or for Renatus White, is it more of a you're already looking ahead to the following match between Mad Army and NE Celeste, and you just want to play whoever of that match drops down to the lower bracket? What is it?
We will try. We are looking forward to like fighting whoever's gonna win, either Arise or Enigma. We are looking forward to any of them to try and fight for maybe after that, like to win any of them, to fight either Mad Army or AE again. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Legit Queen. Thank you so much for the interview. Once again, congrats to Mad Army for winning today and making it through to our final day of FSL Elite tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.